Give me a second, everything's screwed up. All right, something about checking mics. Hold on, let me turn down the audio volume. Ugh. All right. Is this thing on? Okay. All right, I think we're good. We might be good. Possibly be good? Maybe be good. Oh my god. So, what I've been doing for the last forever is trying to get the darn elgato working. And I narrowed it down to the USB cable. Now, the USB cable that I'm using to power the FX30 right now is the only USB cable I apparently own that will also work with the elgato. I need the elgato so I can have the other camera running. You can't have too many cameras going through. The computer just can't handle that much. But the elgato will work on the same USB thing because basically it's a little computer that processes all that stuff. So it's really easy on it. I tried this is just a smattering of the USB cable. There's more. There's like 6 more. Every single USB-C cable I have on my computer right now is unhooked. I even went out to my car and grabbed the USB-C cable that I use for my phone, for like Android Auto and stuff. And it did not work. Every single one of these has that white end. See, type A to type C, right? Pretty normal stuff. Focus, you frick. Yeah. So I went downstairs, checked all the wife's cords, because she really only uses it to like charge her Switch and stuff. She has an iPhone. Then I checked the one in the car, and I checked all over the studio, and every single one I could possibly get my little grubby Nerf beaters on. And I never found one. And right now, as I was pulling out the green screen, I found a cable wedged in the green screen. And would you look at that? It's nice and thick, and it has the blue type A. Now, it's entirely too far gone now to do the stream I was originally going to do. But just for shiggles and gits, let's see if it works. I'm gonna grab the Elgato really quick, so I'm gonna move this over and forever ruin that. Probably heard that USB disconnect. Let's put up our beautiful background. Ah, them green screens. Oh. Let us find out, shall we? Is this that cable? Yes. Is it just me or having trouble keeping the stream going? Oh God, more issues? It's absolutely fine on my end. Stream health is good. What's with the lag? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. The stream is lagging. Everything, even my preview online. Let me refresh the page. It looks fine to me. Oh, I just saw it. Dude, I can't catch a break tonight, can I? Yeah, you're right. Okay. Why is that? So the biggest problem here is I can't really change anything once I've started streaming. There's no dropped frames on my end. Stream health is fine. I can't tell what the issue would be. I'm really confused. I'm gonna let it run for a little bit and see what happens. So in the meantime, I plugged the Elgato in. I'm gonna add a source. Video capture device. I should probably do this in a studio mode. Add a source. Video capture device. Add source. Elgato. Sony FX30 video. Okay, none of these are set up. Oh my goodness. I'm so upset. I mean, you guys aren't going to be able to see anything. I gotta like make this smaller. Oh my god, that was not the right one. Hold on. This will make sense in a moment. There we go. Hi! So, yeah. That cable that I just found wedged in the green screen is the one that works. So on my end, on my preview of the stream, it looks fine. Oh, yeah, sorry, hold on. There we go. No more Dabo. Sato. Sorry. So, next time, unless I want to spend the next 20 minutes resetting everything, next time... Oh, I just saw it do it. I just saw my stream freeze, refresh, and then start lagging again. Man, I love technical issues. It's so much, and now it's disconnected. It's not like there's 0 errors. I know what it is. I think I know what it is. I restarted my computer before, and my VPN is on. Okay. Everyone, I'm going to turn off my VPN. I don't know if I've done this on the stream before. and I'm going to see if we completely lose the stream. It should reconnect, but if it doesn't, I will have a new stream up within a minute or two. So, yeah, because it's like, for some reason, it defaulted me to St. Louis. I am in Washington. So let's see. I'm going to disconnect. Let's see if the stream closes. It might freeze for a little bit. Did anything happen? I literally don't know if anything happened. Well, let me know if that fixed it. That's so frustrating. Wow, I just disconnected the VPN. Nothing even changed. So, all right. To be honest, I was like not even going to stream anymore because I was so upset about the USB cable thing. And now I found one, so I don't have to buy one on Amazon. And then like within the last 5 minutes, I threw together something. I thought we'd talk about some random stuff. Because at this point, I don't really have an option for you. This is like one of those moments where I'd play a video game or something, but the second I start a video game, 90% of the people are going to leave the stream. So we should talk about stuff. I'm so sorry about that. I completely forgot. I need to turn the VPN, like stop it from turning on when I start the computer. What's my favorite gel blaster, Calyx? It would be 100% the Nerf Gelfire Raid. I'm so sorry, everyone. Dude, it's been such a frustrating night.
Shameless plug for Hockey's new store.
Oh yeah!
Big love for both of the boss men.
That's actually a good point. Hawkeye, throw your link in the chat. Hawkeye is, I think, accepting pre-orders for his new Strife parts. And here's the my desktop just completely blanked out for a second. I thought we had to do with the thing where Streamlabs crashed and I'd have to keep going. Hawkeye is now, let me see if I could put this on. Yes, I want to leave YouTube. Go to site. See if I can put this studio mode. Oh, I can see my green screen is messed up. 1 second. Everything's messed up. Okay, we're almost ready. There. You can't slide? Oh. Hey. Oh, I need a bigger green screen, dude. All right. 1 second. Let's see here. Why is that not showing up? Oh my god, this stream is just going to be me completely screwing everything up constantly. Why is that not showing up? It's right there. I can see it in the preview. Done. It doesn't pop up. Yeah, it's not there. Huh. Everything's messed up, dude. There's not a single thing that wants to actually work right now.
We need 0.50 calories mags. Super high FPS exploding head face with monocle.
I have no 50 cal mags. That's Nerf darts are 50 cal. Dude, this is so frustrating. Why is this? Literally, when I click on the thing, let's see if it works in this. I'm gonna delete the window capture. Yeah, delete it. I'm gonna add a new one. Window capture, add source, add source. There it is. Wow, dude, I'm just having the best day. Like the best day. This is awesome. And for some reason, this does not allow me to resize anything in the preview. Since when was that a problem? There we go. I am just fighting everything right now. This is like Yakuza all over again. All right, there we go. Hold on. For some reason, my border is gone. We'll just put it like that. There we go. Why was that so hard? You can edit that, man, a little bit. Okay. Holy crap. There we go. Oh. I'll put the window capture behind the webcam. Behind the camera. There we go. Wow, everything is screwed up right now. I need to completely redo my OBS. This is ridiculous. I'm really sorry about this, everyone. For the 89 of you that are sitting here watching me just completely bungle everything, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So, wow, and now my mouse is skipping all over the place. I can't even control it. Do I have anything? Let's try this. I think this was too close to a Wi-Fi antenna. It was skipping really bad. Oh, Derek, I get you. Thank you very much for the $7 in super chats. There was some people working on those. That's not a new idea. That has been thought of. I'm gonna crop this in ever so slightly on the edges so you can't tell my green screen isn't big enough. All right, so Hawkeye has launched a Excellentia in Omnibus. What does this mean? That's 3 deep, 4 me, 5 me. Pre-orders Avalia. That's wrong. Good job, Hawkeye. That's real good. But anyway, thankfully, his work is going to be so much better than the website. This right here...
I mean 50 calories foam ball mags.
50 calories. Why does it think 50 cal is 50 calories? Anyway. Turn this down ever so slightly. These are his resin-casted parts. These are placeholder images. I think these might... Are these actually resin cast in this picture? Compare them to the... You need a before and after picture, Broseph. Oh, that's so sick. So if you want a mod like the old days, and trust me, if you're gonna strife, and you're probably gonna strife, let's face it, the strife is timeless. You know, I know this is still a thing, but maybe you don't want a Strife X. Maybe you want a Striff. I love how we had to blur out the Strife logo. Or the Nerf logo. I don't even know how they could, like, cease and desist you on these ones, because it's your own design. These are completely redone, custom designed pieces for the Strife that are cast in resin. And he has done a lot, and I do mean a lot of work, designing these. And this is like the old... There's nothing like this in the hobby right now. Even Biggs NZ, I don't think is currently active. I'm not sure why. I haven't talked to him, and I should reach out to Biggs. It's so hard. I really apologize. If you're watching this and I haven't talked to you in a while, it is impossible for me to keep track of everybody. It really is. I'm really, really sorry if I have not reached out to you, and if you reached out to me and you're a friend of mine or something. It's virtually impossible for me to keep up with everyone. But as far as I know, there's nobody in the hobby right now that's doing this kind of work. And this is a complete custom kit for your Strife that changes a bunch of things. As you can see, the mag release has changed. This is all like optimum ergonomics. The trigger has this really nice, what do you call that? It's not jimping, but it's that rough texture on it, that cross-hatching texture, as does the rev trigger. The rev trigger is designed to be big enough, like comfortable enough for your finger, but not like one of those crazy like ring loops that sticks out super far. Knurling, thank you. So all that stuff's completely changed. He changed the freaking what do you call them? Sling loops, because why not, to match everything. As you can see there, this is all just drop in. You don't have to modify your Strife in any way. This just replaces that tack rail with that first edition, which is super cool. Magazine, or the jam clearing door is magnetic now, as you can see, set in with magnets. As you can see, it still has that knurling right there as well. It's not like gonna do a whole lot, but it's there. And then also all over the muzzle. It is not a end strike muzzle attachment point anymore, but that's okay. And replaces that's all one piece. Replaces all of that with a Picatinny rail. All completely custom. I still have my pink one of these somewhere, Hawkeye. I have a key fob now, so there's no way I could, like, this thing's literally bigger than my key fob. But this is all the colors of resin that he has access to. And so you can go, I guess he doesn't have it. I guess I can just put it in the chat real quick. You can go here to pre-order it. These aren't 3D printed. These are resin cast. And this is custom bespoke stuff. Nobody else is doing this right now. Hawkeye has done this in the past, but he's been MIA in the community for a while until recently. This is absolutely freaking beautiful. And I'm sure he'll have more parts coming out, but this is his first set that he's doing for the most popular blaster, completely overhauling the ergonomics and everything like that, and making sure it's durable and custom to boot. So these are currently up for pre-order right now. You can see all the color options right there. These can match anything. They're resin cast. So if you get like transparent, put LEDs behind it. That's what Hawkeye is known for. LED work is kind of his forte. This is incredible work. And I cannot wait to get my hands on some, because it really does not get better than this. This is strictly for those of you that want the absolute pinnacle of Strife ergonomics. If I have one complaint, and I do have one, it's that it doesn't have the Strife block down there to make the grip a little bit bigger, like what's on the Strife X. I think that's a part that should be designed and made in the future, because I mean, he has way bigger hands than me, and I'm surprised that wasn't a thing. Actually, Hawkeye's in the chat, so he might be able to tell me I'm either stupid or a reason for that. Yeah, because like with a modded Strife Shadow Bee, you don't want to have an end strike barrel lug on there. Plans on doing that, says Hawkeye. Okay. All right. But at least the bonus says you get way better. Like he hand tested these multiple. He's printed out dozens and dozens of prototypes to give him the perfect fit. The perfect fit for these pieces. So you're getting way better ergonomics, way better feel, and there's not going to be too many of these. And once they're gone, they're probably going to be gone. And that's kind of the thing with Hawkeyes. Like, I got a Black Steel Props flywheel cage back when that actually meant something. And I don't know how many of those he sold, but I know I have like one of the first ones. And I'm like one of the few, but like, I doubt there's anybody in the chat right now that has one of those. So that is absolutely freaking sweet. Again, all of these parts are custom designed. They're completely drop-in fit for your Strife. Completely custom designed. It is not the same thing. They're meant to fit in the same places, but they're not the same thing. Rev trigger, even though it shows the normal rev trigger right there, that is not the normal. There's the rev trigger right there, as you can see. Trigger, again, has knurling on it, so it feels really good. Modified mag release, that's going to be huge. It's like in between like a worker mag release and then the standard little tiny crappy one that nobody likes, so you can get a little bit more leverage on it. Way easier to drop in. Absolutely amazing. Really, all you're missing once you get that is that mag block or the grip block in there and a battery door replacement. Although, man, like trying to fit a 3S LiPo or something in that Strife battery door. Whew. I know it can be done, but see, that's the thing I don't like about the Strife. I have like the nitpick of the Strife. I have the same problem with the Strife X, mind you, is that big, ugly block. Like, that's one of the things, if you notice with the Ultima Strife, I didn't want to do that. I did everything I could to make sure it didn't have to have that big wart on the side of it, because I hates it. I hate it so much. And, well, unless you make a battery stock, that's kind of what you have to go for. Battery stock, even if it's like just a little wrist rest or something, way better. 3 pounds of SLA prints. Holy crap. Nerf and Josh, because with a modded Strife, you don't want to have the barrel lug on there. I mean, if enough people complains, I'm sure. Well, actually, no. Hawkeye's not one to fall into peer pressure. I'm like, somebody, if enough people complain, he might make a part that has that, but it's also Hawkeye. Dude, I really think on this page right here, you need to have this picture, and then you need to have arrows, and then you need to have the original design of the parts to show how they've been modified. Because, like, I don't see, like, this is the best picture I can get to see what they were like before. I can't see, like, the before and after. And if I don't know what I'm looking at, like, you could also make the argument, it's like, well, if you're not smart enough to look at what, like, see what I'm doing, then you don't deserve to buy my parts. And you can go that route. But I really think you need to have a graphic showing, like, just this, and then have the little windows, like a little arrow that points to, like, the rev trigger, and then a little window that just shows what it looked like before it was changed. That way people can see exactly the before and after between each part. Because there's not a whole lot of description on there. The picture shown is not the right parts, and it's just a placeholder. But okay, well, fair enough. Lead time is 8 weeks. Is it really 8 weeks? Holy crap. Oh, but that's not, you're not making them too, well, maybe you are, actually. You know, I'm not one to, like, tell you how to run your business or anything, so please don't take it that way, but maybe having all these options, like, that's going to be a lot of wasted resin. Like, having this many, unless you know down to the milliliter how much resin this full set is going to take, I really feel like you need to knock down. Like, you should have, like translucent, white, gray, and then if people want a custom color, they have to pay extra. Because, like, this is gonna be a nightmare. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna get, like, an order for, like, 2 neon purple, neon pink, a red, and, like, you're gonna have to try to make each batch of those by hand. That's gonna suck. You know what I mean? I would almost rather you, like, make, like, 10 sets ahead of time in, like, gray and clear. That way I could just paint them whatever color I want. You know what I mean? In with the transparent, you could just use dye. Right? No, maybe you can't rit dye. And then I just add an extra. I mean, that's my thought. Because, like, this is going to be a nightmare, dude. This is going to suck. But that is absolutely beautiful. I've got a special stripe those are going to need to go into. Obviously, it's the one that you worked on when you were here, but I got some pretty choice parts to put in that strife, so. You know, it is interesting. I don't think there is any clear strife anything, right? Not even like a knockoff? The closest thing you get is a swordfish, but that's not a strife. Like, there's so many knockoff, you know, strifes. I'd be really surprised. I am actually really surprised there's not, like, a clear one. The injection molded Lynxes, Alphatron, those are knockoffs. They are not licensed. They are stolen designs. Don't support that stuff. There's a worker clear remake of the Strife barrel part? Maybe. This just looks so egregiously high. There we go. Going off the title of the stream, I like to print a primary and a secondary in the same color scheme. Yeah, we're going to talk about, because I had plans to finish the MA40 pistol, and I printed out the cage and everything for it, and then couldn't get the camera to work. So we will deal with that at a later date. Probably next weekend. I don't know if we have anything special going on next weekend. So, until then, let us talk about loadouts. Yeah, I really want to finish it, mostly because I've been playing a lot of Mega Man, Mega Man Zero, and it's a bullpup pistol, just like Zero's pistol. And yeah, I have all the footage for when I did the mod, so. And I think you can still get them for a reasonable price, right? NERF MA40. Oh, hell no you can't. Dude, what is with that blaster? Goes on sale for $20 and then disappears again. Shadow B for the most part? No, I think the best motors are all going to be 3S. Have you seen use the Mayday Mark 1 mod for the knockout? I don't think so, no. Sorry, Cam Murray. It's sometimes virtually, other times really, that's why I haven't opened mine yet. I wish I had one still in package, like boxed. I think I saved the box. I might still have the box, and if I do, I'll just buy the Amazon one, schlup the internals into the box I saved. So, I had a couple of ideas of how we could do this. I could either rate your guys' loadouts, and if I do that, I'm just going to pick random ones in the chat. But you have to tell me what game mode you're playing and what the FPS cap is. Or you could give me the game mode and the FPS cap, and I could talk about a loadout for it, and we could discuss it. This would be primary, secondary / sidearm. Because obviously the answer will always be something like, you could also throw in like what role you're playing kind of thing. But I really want to talk about it. This is trying to give me an idea for doing loadouts in the future. Why does it seem like all of my graphics are gone? Something like happened. Because like all of my graphics are gone now. And it's really freaking frustrating. Yeah. What is with that? Is it just me? Maybe that thing got corrupted or something. Oh, now that's back. I don't even pretend to understand what's going on. Everything's just screwed up. Nothing makes sense. All right. So I'm just going to pick a random one. My HVZ loadout is my custom game face. Okay, nobody cares. Don't make it. Oh, it's a custom. It's my Death Dealer 9000. It hits 4,000 FPS and it shoots holes through walls. Like, it's really, nobody cares. Sorry. 120 FPS Tryon and a Nerf Enforce Battle Mace. So that's for HVZ. So my main concern with that, Connor, is short darts in HVZY. Like, what is the Tryon specifically doing that makes it worthwhile using 3 to 4 times the cost of darts? Because, like, 500 normal elite darts off Amazon is like $9. 100 Adventure Force Pros is the same price. You don't need the accuracy because you're shooting at lower FPS. You don't need the range because the zombies are coming towards you and you can still hit that range with any other full-length dart blaster. The only advantage you would have is the ability to carry more ammo in the same space, essentially double the ammo. But is that really worth the cost of admission, I wonder? And most HVZs that I know of don't let you use melee. Maybe some do. I know
hey, Walcom, you're a beast.
Red Oktoberfest
I
did
love
at
watching
one
your
point.
videos and you're a hella good YouTuber. Love you.
Love you too, Bass. Yeah, it's Bass because there's a fish. Yeah. Thank you very much, Bass VR, for the $5 super chat. And thank you very much for me being the first channel that you wasted your money on a super chat for. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And thank you very much for the good vibes. Because everybody's just giving me, they're like, nobody's coming in with the feedback what I was talking about. So we can't have a discussion. Everybody just keeps spamming their kit. I thought we'd get a little bit more. I guess the topic we could talk about right now is short darts for HVZ, yay or nay. Because, like, granted, there are going to be blasters that only use short darts. Fair. But the cost per dart, when you're not really utilizing any of the advantages of the short dart, except for the ammo capacity, which, if an HVZ allows you to have an unlimited ammo capacity, like, does it really matter? Yeah, more space for mags, but you're talking like a 5 times the cost per dart. We'll look it up on Amazon right here. Nerf darts. Like, I guarantee you that it's like near 5 times the cost. It's 3 times the cost. We'll do 3 times the cost. Cost is not an issue. I disagree. I really do disagree on that, because in HVZ, you don't need the range. You don't really need the accuracy bonuses, because you're shooting at 130 FPS, and the zombies come towards you. And you can still get really good accuracy out of full-length darts, right? So you're paying 3 times the costs, maybe more, to carry twice as much ammo on you. You are limiting the blasters that you can use. I mean, nobody would argue against me that there's way more full-length dart blasters than there is half-dart blasters. And, like, that adds up quick. In HVZ, like, you'll go through 500 darts pretty quick if you last a while. I mean, it depends on how you play, but scavenging is a thing. Scavenging in an HVZ is very, very, very dangerous. So does higher capacity is not even the greatest advantage. With click the top of your lesser pick up darts off the ground. Yeah, Alphatron, scavenging in an HVZ is a death sentence. I wanna really put this out there. The number one, here's the most important thing in HVZ, besides speed, but even speed has its issues. You need one thing, and it is not ammo capacity, it's not rate of fire, it's not range, it's not accuracy, it's not even dart type. The number one most important part of HVZ is reliability. The sock bomb is 100% reliable. Your blaster needs to be that reliable. And if you're scavenging darts off the ground, oh, buddy, that is a death sentence. That is a death sentence. You need the most reliable blaster. You cannot, because your blaster jamming once can be the end of your game. Who can't throw a sock bomb? Who can fire a blaster? I mean, unless you're literally like you have no hands, no arms, and you're using like a harmonica or something, like a switch that you bite down on to shoot like shoulder mounted thing. Yeah, 0.0001% of people may have that issue. And power to that HVZ player. Seriously, they can't even reload. If I had a friend with no arms, I would definitely make them a revenant from like Doom with like 2 Percies connected to like, and just have, 200, 300 God Hoppers on each shoulder, and they could just bite down and just hose rival rounds in front of them, and they don't even need to use their arms. Like, yeah, I would build that. My friend would be unstoppable. But for everybody else, the number one most important thing is reliability, and a sock bomb, a properly made sock bomb, is 100% reliable. If my blaster jams 1 time out of 10, it's done. I don't want anything to do with it. Xavier says I'm spitting facts. Well, Xavier's the HVZ player of all time. So, I mean, normally when I start talking about things, people just ignore me and they say, oh, Walcom, you haven't played enough HVZ. You don't know what you're talking about. Metagaming's kind of my thing. I've been saying for the last pretty much the entirety of December, pretty much since open beta test for the finals, the F-Car's gonna get nerfed. It's way too powerful. It replaces literally everything else in the medium's arsenal. Why have a high damaged, high accuracy assault rifle that has no recoil whatsoever? Nobody's going to use anything else. That's exactly, if you go start the finals right now, as soon as they nerf the heavy and the light, everybody switched to medium. Everybody's running recon sense with an F-Car. And I've been talking the F-Car needs to be nerfed for the last month and a half. I know balance. Metagaming is my thing. So generally, I try to have a good idea of what I'm talking about. And that's why I like having these conversations, so we can work things out. This is hopefully my moment to show you that when it comes to game balance and design and everything like that, I should be pretty good at that because it's something I live every moment of my life. I love it. Captain Come... Your name upsets me greatly. What game mode would make sense for demolisher rockets? I have 200 of them and don't know where to use them. The first thing I would say, Captain, not Xavier, is that I would be very careful about using those because those are one of those ammo types that gets stolen all the frickin' time. But if your game mode, and this is the most important thing for anybody who runs a Nerf game, your biggest goal with your game mode, if you truly want to make a very fun and enjoyable experience for everybody and anybody, you should be making your game designed around the fact that every single blaster and ammo type has a use. If every game I went to had a rule sheet, and I know this, see, this is where things, because the more you add, the more convoluted it gets, the accessibility drops. But I think there's a middle ground, and it's very easy to hit that middle ground. But that's one of the reasons why people like HVZ. HVZ is truly the game mode where almost every single ammo type is worth using. You almost have to have every ammo type. The most, like, the thing that, if I go to Ragnar Oktoberfest next year, there's a Ragnar Oktoberfest and I do go to it, I will be building a blaster specifically around Mega. I will not, because Mega still tags people out. Zombies are still coming towards me, and special zombies get tagged out by Mega. They don't get tagged out by Rival or anything else. They only get tagged out by Mega. And even then, Mega's really easy to run. You know what I mean? Your game should be designed in a way that every single game or every single ammo type has a use. So for Demolisher rockets, some places use like, oh, shields. And that only works if there's shields. So you're kind of limiting it there. And Demolisher rockets are very hard to use. Now, there is one game mode that I feel would be the best game mode in Nerf, and I am disgusted by the fact that nobody plays this, and that is Defend the Core. Defend the Core can work a variety of ways. There can be a single core in the middle of the arena, or there could be a home base and an enemy base. But basically, you have a box with a hole in it that catches the darts. And while you were also tagging out other players, you were also trying to put darts in the box. If it's like one core, usually it will have like, they'll have two different colored darts or something like that. But if there's two cores, it's like whoever's box has more darts in it, you get it. So if you have 100 darts in your box, but they have 200 darts in their box, they lost because they had twice as many darts in their box. If you assigned a point value, so where Rival is worth 1 point, but Demolisher rockets are worth 10? Yeah. It is truly the best game mode in Nerf. I would make an entire business around this concept. And yet for some reason nobody does it. I don't know why. I think people who don't do it are stupid. Every single dart type should have a use, and Defend the Core is one of the only ways where you can get that. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, Demolisher rockets, they usually break shields. If the field supplies a shield, good. If there's no shields on the field, then your Demolisher rocket, well, you get the satisfaction of the tag is possibly what you're going for. Capture the flag is better. Well, you're demonstrably wrong, Shadowbee. Facts, Fallon. For HVC rounds used to play in the arena and go to every ammo type, what people has to have a purpose. We have a Shambler zombie, they only walk where Mega stuns for 5 seconds, Mega XL and Socks kill them. I want to see a zombie come out that can, like a Hydra, like the Hydra zombie, right? The only thing that can take down the Hydra zombie is Vortex. That would be funny. And at that point, I think the mod staff should throw out some Vortex blasters and a handful of discs for people to use. But it makes sense thematically now, doesn't it? And that gives you a reason to use Vortex. Otherwise, HVZ is dominated by Rival. Rival completely demolishes everything that is HVZ. The Nemesis was the end all. I mean, Zeus. The Zeus was the knocking on the door. The Nemesis was breaking through it. And then we got the Prometheus. We got all the proton packs and everything. It just gets worse and worse and worse. there's almost not a point. That's why it's like when you're like, I'm going to use my Tryon and short darts, it's like, just use Rival. That's why Rival exists. That's why it's like, it's more fun to have like minimal ammo, limited ammo. That's what RAG does. Like, the reason why RAG is so fun is like they give you, like, you sign up, you chrono your darts, your blasters and everything like that. You get them flagged for safety and everything. And then they give you darts, a mix mash. Like, you start with 50. So if you have just Rival, they'll give you 50 Rival. If you have short dart, long dart, Rival, you know, depending on all your stuff, you can give 50 Mega. Actually, I don't know if they give you 50 Mega, but you could use just Mega. And that's, like, it's cool that they do that because you have a limit. You're not allowed to bring outside ammo into Ragnar Oktoberfest. That's the fun part. So you're limited on ammo. That makes every dart really important. And that's when scavenging becomes the most important. And then the zombies start taking your darts because they use them for their own... That's when things get tricky. Have a side mission to get a Vortex Blaster. I agree, Xavier. I agree. Would they give 50 Vortex? Maybe. The problem with that is, like, Vortex is kind of hard to get. I think there is Nerf Vortex on Amazon now. For a while, it was unobtainium. Not only can you get official Vortex refills, but there's all sorts of knockoffs. You get 100 pieces of Vortex for $20. Wait. Does that mean you can use the dog ball launcher to shoot Nerf grenades near a crowd? There's not a... There's no game that's going to allow you to do that, I don't think. Have a good night, Hawkeye. Thank you very much for joining us. You know, Connor, like, the Proton Pack is the cheat code. They'll punish you. The zombies will find a way to punish you. Don't you worry. Knockoff Vortex is useless. I don't know about that. Actually, I have 8 Moto Strike mags. I found my 1 Moto Strike mag yesterday. Are we going to talk about leaks? Oh, I can't change the frickin' thumbnail. I hit reuse and I was going to update the thumbnail and now it won't let me change it. Oh, now I can. I'm going to change the thumbnail. I made a really crappy one. There we go. There's the new thumbnail. It's up. Saved. We're live. There hasn't been any updates. I've been checking around for the new stuff. The Challenger and the Mirage, which should be on shelves anytime now. The other stuff, I don't have any leads on at the moment. I saw a Vortex Vigilon at my local thrift store, but it wouldn't prime. The funny thing about that Gray Beer list, it was probably already primed. It's probably been primed since the dawn of time. Because kids will grab it, they'll pull back the slide, and then they won't have a Vortex disc. And you have to have a disc in there because they will not dry fire. Because dry firing Vortex is no-no. I wish Vortex was a little more economical to run. And $21 for 100 rounds, it's not bad. Did you miss the pictures of the Mirage and Challenger? No, we've seen them. I almost never seen a Proton Pack actually last long. They get overconfident and get mobbed. Yeah, getting overconfident, I'm guilty of that. It's real easy to get overconfident in HVZ. And you just don't want to. In fact, the best way to HVZ is to not shoot until you have to. And I remember when I was leading the red team at Ragfest, that was like the biggest thing I was trying to explain to people. It's like, you have limited ammo already, but like, what's the point of like, oh, there's somebody 90 feet away. Why are you trying to fling a dart at them? Like, I get it. You want to nerf, but it's HVZ. Like, why not just run towards the zombie? Or hear me out, you do the smart thing, and you go for the objectives where you have to fight the zombies, and then you can fire blasters. But you don't want to do that because it's not safe. So you want to sit at a safe distance and waste your ammo. Like, what's the point? What actually is like, imagine, again, that we have a zombie, or 3 are zombies or whatever, and you have you, and you're firing at the zombies, and you down a zombie. What happens to the zombie? They just go and respawn. They're back in like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, minute, whatever it is. You accomplished nothing but wasted your ammo. Not smart. Like, if you want to go to an HVZ and you want to be like actually competent, and granted, it's HVZ. You could literally, it's like playing PUBG. You can land, loot a sniper rifle, loot a ghillie suit, open up a door and get bonked in the head with a freaking crowbar. And you're done. You don't even get a chance to play the video game. You could still go to an HVZ and play as smart as possible. And smart as possible is you don't really want to fire until you have to. The zombies come towards you. Trying to hit them at a distance doesn't solve anything. Bots with the member for 10. Let's see, the member things come in instantly. Why did the donations take so long? Tagging out zombies means nothing. They will respawn very quickly. Don't tag until they're within 20 feet. I actually borrowed a pilot from somebody. Granted, I was invulnerable. If I died, and I think I died like 5-6 times. Not as much as some other captains, but the captains they come back after 3 minutes. I used a pilot. And not only did I shoot the zombie, I would immediately grab that round if I had the chance. I would shoot, hit them as they were right in front of me. Usually it's one at a time. The zombies are not always that smart. But if they run towards me, shoot them once, they get hit, and then I immediately grab my round back. And I would just reuse that one round over, and I'd have like 2 or 3 in my hand. But it's like, if there was a horde of zombies, and there wasn't one just coming towards me, I walked back towards my team. That's how you smart HVZ. You could make the argument that that's not fun. If you want to shoot zombies, so that's all you want to do, you want to play Nerf. I'm not here to be safe. I'm here to shoot people and have fun. Okay. Be the dude at the front line going towards the objective. Okay? That's what you want to do. If you don't want to get tagged, but you want to shoot the zombies, you're doing it wrong. Okay? Like, you either need to be up pushing every objective, clearing out zombies to get to where you need to go to win the game, or you need to sit back and defend. You can't be like, I'm defending, let me take pot shots at the zombie. Like, nothing, you don't accomplish anything. And those HVZs that don't have limited ammo, like N-War is not fun. Because N-War just throws, like, they know they have unlimited ammo. There's going to be dudes, out there with, everybody's going to have hundreds of rounds on them. They throw special zombies at you like none other. And basically, the zombies herd you away from the objective and into choke points and stuff like that. The zombies' entire gimmick is they're trying to create flanks, and they're just punishing you. You're going to be walking, running, and firing. It is oppressive. And they really do accomplish this by having like 3 or 4 unkillables, unstunnables, whatever you want to call them, where it's like if they get hit by a dart, they just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then they're back in the game. But they can't run. So it's like that movie where it's like there's something always chasing you. It's just very slow. So no matter what, you can never rest. That's what those games are like. Ragnaroktoberfest, a far better game in my opinion, is you have limited ammo, but there's less of that. Not saying there isn't some, but there's less of it. They call me Socks. Do pew pew the way you want to do pew pew, but try to win the game. I mean, that's fair. It's like, playing let's say you're playing like Call of Duty and you're playing Domination or something like that. Kill confirmed, whatever. Actually, not even kill confirmed, but you get it. Where there's an objective. It's not team deathmatch. It's not TDM. and you never play the objective, you make the argument, it's like, I'm just here to have fun. Like, why aren't you playing TDM? Well, in TDM, it's like the people aren't coming towards the objective, so they're always spawning all over the place, and I have to actually watch my back and have game sense. When in an objective mode, I can just camp the objective and get all the free kills I want. But you're not actually playing the objective. So you're ruining the game for everybody, including the other team, I would make the argument, because they probably want to play the game. And when you're not playing the game, you're letting down your team, and then you're just giving the enemy the win, so it feels hollow. You can go off and do whatever you want in HVZ. It's your game. It's your life. Have fun with it. I've never been to an HVZ. I've been to probably like 7 or 8 now. I've never been to an HVZ where somebody hasn't raged because they got tagged. And it's usually they immediately blame the people around them. I have not been to an HVZ where that hasn't happened. And most people, and I'm guilty of this to a degree, because I've played the zombie precisely once in any HVZ, and I barely zombied. Yeah, you're supposed to play a zombie. That's half the game. That's the entire point. Somebody has to go down early. Lots of people have to go down early. That's how the game's played. It could be you. Keep that in mind. HVZ, but we use real zombies and real guns. Would you say the Woozy is good or nah? Just a guy you talking about for HVZ? The Woozy, it's fine. Like, it's just a full auto. Like, it doesn't really matter. Full auto in Nerf is practically useless. I'm gonna say that up front. That's another, like, Walcom hot takes. Full auto in Nerf is bad. Like, is it fun? Yes. Full auto in HVZ? No. Oh, God, no. Now, I'm not saying you can't have what I would like to call a panic button. That is when you have a blaster with one mag that is full auto, and I have done this multiple times with different blasters where I have just in my chest rig, I'll have like a Jupiter or something like that. And I grab it and I just basically go like that. I pull down the trigger and I just spray it in front of me while I'm running away. Which for the fat kid is not very far or fast. That's a panic button. It's a good thing to have. It's also something you can do in normal games. If you want to have the one blaster, like a Lepus or a Woozy or something like that, something compact, full auto, with a pretty decent or absurd rate of fire, it's one mag, one tag. You can do that, and it does have a use. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying you can. But full auto in Nerf is very bad. We don't have the magazine capacity. And if you want to talk about Rival, the problem with Rival is range and consistency. Full auto Rival, most of the time, very inconsistent and has a very minimal range. If your FPS cap is 150, Rival will clear most of that. Therefore, full auto Rival could be useful. If your FPS cap is 200, I'm not saying the full auto Rival can't be used, but now you're bringing a flamethrower to not trench warfare. You're trying to cross no man's land. Can you make it to the other trench and fill it full of napalm? Of course you can. But you have to make it to that, and let's face it, you probably won't. So it's not exactly very effective. I am one of those people that is super guilty of specializing into one thing. And I really like playing around that specialization. That's, for me, that's fun. So I think you could have a good time with it, and that makes it, it's a different game at that point. Like, my favorite thing to do is like, what does Walcom like? He likes shotguns, he likes pistols. Well, shotguns are a very problematic weapon in almost every single engagement. Because, and especially in Nerf, let me tell you this straight up, shotguns in Nerf are garbage. They almost don't even serve a purpose. Shotguns in Nerf are a medium range blaster type. They are not close quarters. The Woozy is close quarters. The semi-auto Nightingale is close quarters. The Jolt is close quarters. But when you're talking about a blaster that at a minimum is going to be fairly bigger or is going to be smaller and going to be basically single shot, granted, you're firing multiple darts, but again, seemingly single shot. Yeah, it's not exactly super great to have, like, trying to use the Firefly in close range is ridiculous. It's just not even doable, to be honest. But at medium range, that's when shotguns are really good. 70, 80 feet away, 4 projectiles, 3 projectiles. That's where shotguns are good. That's when shotguns actually shine in Nerf. Sludge fire is cool, but useless for HVZ. Yeah, I agree. Like, it's absolutely useless for HVZ. Which sucks, because, man, sludge fire is so good. Do you think suppressive fire and burst is practical in any game? Yes. Me likes donuts. It is. That is one of the reasons why chains are good. Even in HVZ. Here's the thing. Suppressive fire, that's what, like, the Alpha Auto 72 is for, right? The Alpha Auto 72 is a very lethargic, like, what, 3.7 darts a second, if that? Very slow. Slow enough that hitting a moving target horizontally with it could be a challenge. You might need 2 or 3 placement shots. But for suppressive fire, you want a really lethargic rate of fire, because that makes your magazine last longer. That's one of the reasons why Vortex is still really good. Vortex discs hang in the air for a while. And while you could very easily dodge them, Vortex discs are a threat for a longer period of time. So, like, a boom nitron is super fun, because it's like, oh, here's a nitron that empties its mags instantly. Here's a cloud of angry floating discs coming towards you lethargically through the air. Cool. Not very effective. Now, Pyragon, whatever you want to call that thing, where you can go like, ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk. Guess what? You can't push that. You can't. It is very, very effective if you're on a corner, on an objective, whatever it is, and I can just sit there and launch discs at you lethargically. That 40-round drum is going to last like a minute. I'm not trying to shoot you with it. I'm filling the only avenue you have to push me with a projectile you could very easily see. And the closer you get to me, or the moment you think it's like, oh, it's just a vortex disc, I could dodge it and counter. No, because it's not that slow of a projectile. It's just slow enough. It's just good enough that it will lock you down or tag you. One of the two things. And the other problem with vortex discs is they're freaking, you know, they lethargically fly through the air, and they kind of sometimes randomly curve in directions. There's that too. So there's a lot of use for a lot of things in Nerf. I'm not saying this is going to be competitive stuff. To be honest, competitive Nerf kind of kills the entire spirit of Nerf. Every time you see a competitive game, it's 5 people or 3 people or whatever the game mode is, all using basically the same blaster, or they're using like just the 2 top of the line things and that's it. Talon claws, you know, things that are super reliable that never jam on you, but also things that are usually shooting short darts, usually springers, and then 1 flywheeler. You got to have a flywheeler because if they have the chance to pop off, they can. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I don't like about competitive Nerf, because that's how competitive Nerf is. The competitive people don't care about game balance or fun. They will all use the exact same blaster, and they will all enjoy it immensely because they don't actually care about the gameplay. They care about the competition. And that's fair. I am not that person. I get really bored. If there's like 1 person on the field using the same blaster as me, I will swap out. That's why I bring so many blasters to wars. Because I don't want to be using the same thing as somebody else. I want to fight against a bunch of different things using a bunch of different things. Again, I'm guilty of being that person that loves to find that pigeonhole and fit right in there. I've done entire wars just trying to use the zombie strike. What is that thing called? I literally just talked about it. Dreadbow. Like, that's all I used for hours. Because I just really wanted to get a couple of tags with it. I've used the Fobo Pro. I've used a lot of fun stuff. Because to me, that's how I enjoy it. Like, I have everything. I have SPFs. I have 17 different flavors of 300 FPS primary pump action magazine fed springers. It's boring to me now. Not saying I won't use one or two every once in a while, but I want to play that game where it's the random wacky stuff. So like when I show you this, right? I will 100%.
I cast Wall of Foam.
Use this in a war. Bots of Blasters, $2 super chat. I cast Wall of Foam. Nerf Vortex. Yeah, pretty much. This is the kind of blaster that I would desperately try to use. I'd make an entire rule around this blaster that if you know, party agreeing, if I'm me, so people do generally trust me. If I tag you out with this, you have to let me use your blaster until, you know, the end of the game, or I go down. That's like what something like this would be fun with, because that's the entire purpose of the Liberator. Have you used your Rapid Strike in HVZ after installing the NF Strike Select Fire kit? Are you talking about the Vortex or the sight? I don't have that blaster anymore. I gave it to Machine Gun Danny, but I did use it at Jared's Epic Blaster Battle for whatever that may be worth. Liberator video win. You'll see it soon, within a week or two. Before the end of the month is what I should say. I still remember the amount of firestorm in the community when you revealed your all Boomco loadout. Shenko, like Xavier would back me up. That loadout was no joke. That loadout was pristine. I was a terror with the Boomco stuff back then. Like, really, the Boomco stuff didn't start dying out until worker darts were a thing, and like more and more caliburns. So like it got to a point where it's like we had to balance games based on how many caliburns there were. You know, this before you could just go buy half darts at Walmart and stuff like that. But man, I would just sit there with I use the M6 first, right? I use the M6 pistol modded and just use the bejesus out of it. Because it's like, what, one shot, it outranged everything. It was more accurate than anything. I really should, if I don't want to risk the Boomco darts, but it's like, I bet you that Boomco is still competitive in 150 FPS game mode. But I would use that, and then if anything got even remotely close to me, I could just immediately pick up my brake flip and just dump with about the same accuracy and power. The blaster I never got to try more, that I really wanted to try more, was the burst wave. We talk about a lot of things, right? But if you want to talk about the most effective shotgun in Nerf, there's two that come to mind. One of them is Domoshevsky's Rail Cleaner. But that thing is huge. That thing is a massive beast. But the other thing is a modded burst wave. Because those 4 darts, the range on a modded burst wave is stupid. Granted, it's air power, you gotta pump it up and stuff. But man, modded burst wave is just dumb. I'm surprised we don't do more of that. I still have to, I think I have like 3 or 4 burst waves now. I think I even have burst waves in box, 2 of them. But it's like my original one is somewhere, and it's like that thing just would probably destroy, unless I used freaking hot glue to seal it, which I probably did because that was before I even moved to back to Washington. So yeah, what blaster you want to get that is too expensive doesn't get made anymore? 3D printed allowed. One thing, I have one technically, but the person who made it put it together wrong, and it's virtually impossible for me to fix because it's PVC that's been bonded together. That's the JSPB Pro 2. I don't think they make them anymore. Or like whatever the later generation. Those things are awesome. And I really, really like them. What else? That's probably the top of the end right there. Is like there's a couple, there's not very many things I don't have that I can't get my hands on. That's one of them. Like recently I wanted I didn't have an Exus. I never got one. I met somebody at Ragfest. I've drawn a blank on your name. If you're there, I need to give you a shout out. But they gave me their Exus, and it has like old worker internals in it. It doesn't even have the jet blaster internals in it. Birth waves could take a hopper. See, yeah, I think you could definitely have like 3 hoppers on it, to be fair. You know what I mean? The burst wave is such an underutilized blaster. I wonder how much they are. It could be sitting on a gold mine. No, not very expensive at all. Cool. Will you do a review of the X-Shot trace fire? Calyx, I'm kind of thinking about it. Kind of think of doing the trace fire with the clutch. Do people actually want to see that video? I feel like it's late to the game at this point. I don't think it has any chance of getting views, but maybe. The Judge. Man, I wish the Judge was good. That Jinx blaster could be the greatest blaster ever. I'll still never buy one. When I say that, I want one for collection purposes, but I wouldn't pay more than like $60 for one. Yeah, Trace Fire is the gel ball. I have 2 of them, and as like a dual wielding SMG, I have a feeling it'd be amazing. Would you do a review of the... Yeah, I already have it, Noah. It'll be out, again, very soon. I've already filmed all the firing footage for it. I still adore my Nexus Pro and Shillington Flypoint. Flypoint is really cool. Man, that is a blaster that does way too many things with a trigger pull. But it's very comfortable. Nexus Pro, as much as I respect the Nexus Pro for what it does, I mean, being one of the first, you know, the first half dart shooting primary anything on store shelves. It's really garbage now. Like, I don't understand, like, people, like, they get on my case about that. And I've always said, the thing is, the Nexus Pro is for you. All it did for me is get me half darts on store shelves. And the Adventure Force Pro darts are like a 7 out of 10. They're not the best, but they're pretty good. It's a blaster for you. I already had multiple short dart shooter and pump action magazine fed primaries. I didn't need the Nexus Pro. And the Nexus Pro had plenty of room for improvement. And we've seen that. Doomlands had a solid aesthetics, even though many of the offerings were low per horns. Man, Doomlands. Oh, dude, let's talk about frickin' Nerf Doomlands, right? Dude. Talk about maybe one of the most garbage series. I hate to say, because you're not wrong, right? You're not wrong. It's just Doomland sucks. Check this out. Let's take a look at Doomland, shall we? Right? We got the Lawbringer. Really good blaster. Janular was one of the first videos I ever saw where it's like he dual wielded Lawbringers in a game. That is so much fun. There's something about one-handing a Lawbringer that is just ridiculously fun. I don't even remember how many darts these things held. 12. And the stock. Like, these things flip really easy. They point really good. The performance is sub 70 FPS. It's such a cool, fun blaster. Use it over a hammer shot any day of the week. This is such a... Like, obviously, it's not like I say... Yeah, people cut them down. I have cut down ones. But using them in their full, complete form, amazing. Vagabond, frickin' garbage. Like, it looks cool, right? But I don't know if you can see this. You load the darts in, and the little, I wish it was capturing my cursor. You load the darts in, those black barrels are completely open. Like, they don't do anything. It is pump action slam fire, so that's something. But, yeah, it's like 3 times bigger than it needs to be. Yeah, exactly. I think it holds 8. No, it holds 6, so it's worse. Garbage. The double dealer, man. Like, this is a blaster I still think can be good. But it's not. This is a blaster I was so excited for. And I don't think I might have done a video on one by now. Have I? I actually don't know if I've done a video on the double dealer. I feel like I have. This is a blaster that every bit of it should be me, and it is not. It is so bad. It jams. It's got a massive plunger tube, a massive, like, long shot size plunger tube, but they just don't feed very well. Damages darts all the time. Oh, it should be the best, and it's so garbage. This thing sucks. The crease where the grip, you can see it in this picture. No human hand fits that. It's a nice idea. It's very thin, although it's very long or tall, but it's very thin. It's not a terrible idea. The 4 Victory did it way better. Ergonomically a nightmare. Don't recommend it. Right? The Judge. This is an abomination. It could be good, right? It could be good, but it's not. The priming linkage is the thinnest metal bar, and it has to go from that grip all the way down there, all the way to where the plunger tube is at the top, and then the trigger linkage is on the top. It's garbage. It's so bad. Come on. You even gonna try? I guess
your
not gonna try.
entire collection disappears somehow. What are the first 5 blasters you buy to restart and why?
Oh, that's harsh. What would I restart with, Vinyl? Thank you very much for the $10 super chat, and thank you very much for the 10th super chat on a live stream. How about that? That's a random accolade to have. What do I like? My Javelin, my SPF, my Diana. What do I get past that? Firefly, I guess, because I got to have that shotgun fun. And the last thing... Slab, maybe? I need something lever action in there. So yeah, everything about the Judge sucks. And like, there's not a whole lot going on here, right? Negotiator. I don't even know if I have one of these things, to be perfect. I probably do. Christ. Garbage. Like a what were they thinking moment. It still has a little... Pardon me. It still has a little spot right there where it kind of pinches your finger, if I remember correctly. Again, I don't know why that's such a problem, but yeah, this thing's a sunfish. Very, very garbage. But 8 shots. Not terrible. And then we've got the holdout. Again, this is another blaster. I don't even think I have one. It's a glow shot. A tiny fire strike, if you will. Yeah, I really don't think I have one of those at all. I didn't even realize that. I don't think I have one. Man, this thing looks so cool. It's really bad, but it looks so cool. Like, that is like one of the coolest looking melee weapons Nerf has made. The axe even looks good. Man, people use those so much as throwing axes. But we got Impact Zone. Guess how many blasters were released in the Impact Zone line? Oh, look at that. 2 of them. You got the long arm. Holy garbage fires. This is terrible. This is a way bigger Spectre. I don't even think it's yeah, it's a Spectre. I don't even think it has slam fire. Yeah, it doesn't even say anything about slam fire. And this thing was like, yeah, $15. You thought Nerf was expensive now. Nerf was expensive back then. This is 2016. But here's the one thing that everybody loves, right? Everybody loves the Desolator. It's a strife, or it uses a rapid red cage. I don't know why Hasbro does that, but it's just a compact little SMG. It's semi-auto, but man, does it work, and it works hard. This is like the one saving grace of the entire line. This is the Desolator's legitimate. It's just a strife, and honestly, I wish more people have done more things with it, but oh man, the Desolator's so good. You could use that stock. It's small, but it's usable. You kind of wish, man, you kind of wish Doomlands went on past that. Yeah, looks like it died in 2018 with a single shot front loader. Everything else, garbage. I don't even know what the point of this is. Like, it could have just been Zombie Strike. Hey, Walcom, can we do Alien Menace? Connor, why? Oh, God. Where's Alien Menace? Where the... What? Oh. I apologize. That's why I'm drinking an energy drink. Freaking Alien Menace. Look how many blasters we got from this line, eh? So, you've got the Incisor. Actually... super awesome. So Alien Menace was all like organoid, kinda. This is supposed to be like metal and bone is the texture you get with that white design. This is an upside down fearless fire. And there's two variants.
I love the Nexus BC. It was my first competitive blaster I got when I was like 12, and I like to tinker and perfect, plus the Nexus was my childhood LMAO.
Well, thank you very much for the $5 super chat, and that's fine. Like, the Nexus, like, I say it's garbage because there's so many things past it now. The thing that holds the Nexus Pro back is the Prime. It's so crunchy. It's so loose. It's so ew. It's not that it doesn't perform well. You could use a Nexus Pro in, like, any competition, and it would do fine. It's just, you're fighting so much with that blaster. But, yeah, no, it's like, what? The first good blaster, first pro blaster on shelves. Super, super nice to have. I'm glad that I could say, and people have gotten on my case about this. I'm glad I can say, yeah, Nexus Pro is trash now. Like, I'm glad it's only been, it's been like 4 years, but I'm glad I could say that because that's only because there's so many better options now. Aeon Pro would slap a Nexus Pro any day of the week. Aeon Pros are actually legit. Anyway, there's two versions of the Incisor, one with a blue drum, one with a purple drum. They're slightly different colors, but they are differences. These were Toys R Us exclusive, by the way, but this is an upside down fearless fire, and it is awesome. It is so good. Big. Then there's the Ravager. This thing's freaking garbage. I actually don't think I have one of these either. It is the worst pump action I think Nerf has probably ever made, and they tried to sell for $30. You get 8 shots. You get rotating smart ARs. Absolutely garbage. Now, I'm not saying it didn't look cool, because that big claw down there, surprisingly comfortable. But yeah, I'm actually pretty sure I don't own one of these. And if I do own one, I think it's missing 2 of the smart AR things, because they like clip in and they can come back out. Garbage. Absolute trash. $30. Again, I've been complaining about the prices of Nerf for a long time. Fall 2016, $30 for that garbage. And then we've got actually a really cool one. This one was a sleeper. Is it awesome? Yes. Is it worth getting? Not really. This is the Voidcaster. It is a 4-shot smart AR, but that big orange lever right there is the firing trigger. So it is one of those like double action semi-auto almost blasters where you squeeze that big, and it's big, so you get your whole hand using all your grip on it, and it, you know, pulls back the plunger tube and then slips. So that's how you fire. You can just squeeze it and it fires a dart. And it uses a spring, a plunger tube, and everything like that. Really niche. 90% of the blaster does nothing, and the nail biter completely replaced it. But at the time, it was safer to use than your Snapfire 8 because the Snapfire 8s break. It's good. And dual wielding these things is like the closest you get to like using the plasma rifle from Halo. Like, it feels real good. I like it a lot. Foam Battalion. Hey, Walcom, what do you think is the perfect recon loadout, blasters and gear? If you're doing recon, as in you're gathering intelligence for something, if you're doing a recon, like you're scouting, you're getting information, you have to have some way to communicate. And I'm assuming you're playing a rather long objective mode like HVZ. But in any sense of like, there's only certain people that can do recon, because you have to be light, you have to be fast, and you have to be able to kind of shoot a couple foam darts. So in these situations, you want to have like the lightest possible setup you can have. But if you do get into trouble, you still want to be a threat. But these are the loadouts where it's like, you probably have like, if I were like, I'm going to make a light recon loadout, it'd be like one primary, maybe 2 spare mags, maybe a walkie-talkie, maybe a flashlight or something like that. And that's it. Like, you don't need a sidearm. Like, you're supposed to be as light as possible. Heck, in the perfect world, your recon loadout would have all of the ammo on the blaster. That is something that actively bothers me with this community. Why do we not have a single blaster that does dart storage, like, or mag storage on the blaster itself? That is so underrated. Like, you know, like the G11, it carries 2 spare mags on the weapon itself. That way, when you have a loaded G11, you've got a magazine in the weapon and 2 spares, because they're just flat. They're right now. I think they're right next to the barrel, or right next where you load the mag, and something like that. I have to like literally bring up a picture. I'm not gonna do that right now. But for some reason, nobody that I know of, like, you can get a rail attachment that holds a mag, stuff like that, or you can get a stock that holds a mag. I'm talking about like
Rev Reaper.
Striker, the $2 Rev Reaper. You'll be seeing that. I just did the zombie strike. It'll be out soon, I promise. The zombie strike, it's every single blaster in zombie strike. I don't understand. Like, I've talked to so many content like designers where it's like, yeah, dude, that's really nice. Is there any possible way you could put magazine storage on it? Think about how thin, like look at this. Like, you can almost add that to any blaster. And while it does add thickness, if I could just have 2 spare mags and a loaded mag in my blaster ready to go without having this hanging off the bottom of it or something like that, I would rather do that over a chest rig. You know what I mean? Nobody does it for some reason. And I don't know why. It's super annoying. Is it worth it to buy a Lepus? Yes and no. It's a fun toy. Is it practical? Not really. Certainly is fun, though. What about the attachment on the modulus demolisher? I don't know what one you're talking about, Mama Luigi, but if it's a Nerf one, it's probably like a stock that holds a dart. Like, even like the, what was it? Oh my God, what is the, Scavenger. The Scavenger has that attachment that holds a mag on the side of it. Good. Could be better. I don't want like a picket, like, cause like if you design the blaster with this in mind, you can absolutely minimize the amount of space. A rail attachment will almost always have like space that isn't utilized properly and it'll make everything ugly. But if you design the blaster with that purpose in mind, you could add that, like, yeah, you could have a chunky boy. Like, you could have, even if you look at like the Javelin, it's like, yeah, 3 magazines side by side. That's pretty thick. Still thinner than a Rapid Strike, though. Not many people would complain about the thickness of a Rapid Strike. It needs to be done more often.
Would a Z-Ink be appropriate for recon?
Cam Murray, thank you very much for the $2 Canadian super chat. With a Z-Ink be appropriate for recon? Yes and no. It really depends on your FPS cap, because the Zinc itself is ridiculously powerful. The Zinc, the little tiny pistol boy, yeah, one of those, 2 magazines on you, in your pockets, radio. I mean, again, this only works if you're playing a game mode where advanced information is important. And there's not a lot of those. But, could be done. You have to be really light and really good cardio, though. Otherwise, you like play like an ambusher where you just have a lot of firepower and you wait, and you know, like, the second you show up, like, They like basically camp, and if you do engage with a group, you're gonna hopefully tag out all of them, but with surprise, like an ambush. That's another way. Not really game modes where you can do that though. Walcom, will you get into Gel Blaster scene more or stay more towards foam? Syra, I don't really like Gel Blaster for the most part. The reasoning for that is that almost every Gel Blaster is the same. It's a full auto thing with a hopper, mag dumps, rate of fire, that's it. That's all it does. It shoots a line of gel BBs and that's all it does. It's not fun. Same reason I have with like most of Airsoft is that most of Airsoft is the same thing. And then they like, oh no, full auto in this place, and then you have to not use full auto, but you get it. I really, really don't like that. It's also not as satisfying. I have a video idea I'm mulling around in my head. I mean, it's been a long time coming, but it's like, I have the airsoft gun now to shoot it, but it's like, I've been wanting to do this video for years. I've been holding off doing these kinds of videos because I honestly just think, who wants to just listen to me blabber like for 10 minutes about a thing? Some of you do, many of you won't. But the feeling of shooting a foam dart at 200 FPS is so much better than shooting an airsoft BB at 400 FPS. Like, yeah, you can get longer range with the airsoft because of the light projectile on the hopper. And technically, you can get better accuracy as well. There's just something demonic about firing foam darts at high velocity. It's that joke from Portal 2 where it's like, and we fire the whole bullet. That's 65% more bullet per bullet or whatever it is. Where you see it all the time, like people who don't know firearms or anything like that, when they show like a gun firing and it shoots the entire projectile, like the entire casing and everything with it. When Nerf is basically doing that, because you fire the whole dart every time, and it's just insane. There's something visceral about it. And that's why it's like, I want to try to show as many people that as possible, because that's what you're missing out on. When it's like paintball kind of is like that, because like paintball is like, but the paintball's overgassed. You have these, I actually don't know how heavy, I should weight a paintball. I think I throw all my paintballs away. But it's like, yeah, you're shooting a big ball of paint. It's still not as fun as shooting a foam dart. And there's a lot of, so like you got the big projectile, it's inherently inaccurate and you're doing everything you can to stabilize it. And then on top of all of that, you're like limited to like, what, 15, 20 rounds a mag? And you can't like carry, like some people do carry like a dump pouch, but like you can't really carry a bunch of loose darts and do all this crazy stuff with them because like the foam darts get bent and then they don't work as well. Like there's so many things that go into the art of flinging a foam dart that makes it so much more fun. And then on top of that, we have all this other wacky ammunition that has a purpose. Vortex, Hyper, Ultra, Mega, Mega XL. And even more stupid things that we find a way to fit into our games. That's why Nerf and foam flinging is so good. And the problem we all face is we just like, I can tell you, because when I went to California and I ran that Nerf tournament, these people have never touched a Nerf blaster, or if they had, it was like End Strike days. And they pick up a Dart Zone Pro Mark IV and they drill like a 230 FPS short dart. And they had no idea. The first thing they do is they shoot it once and their face lights up and then they immediately ask to like shoot a friend, or they just start shooting at people. It was madness. And it's easy to forget that in this hobby, because like somebody like me, I've been doing it for years. I have so many 300 FPS blasters, 400 FPS blasters, it doesn't even matter anymore. But like the first time you get that taste of that foam dart, smacking a wall or something, or hitting a target at range, there's nothing like it. It's that, which is like the airsoft kids will never understand, because they're shooting a little tiny foam or little tiny plastic BB. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a Barrett 50 cal, you're still shooting a little tiny plastic BB. If you have a minigun, you have like that $4,000 minigun, it's still only shooting freaking little tiny plastic BB. It's just shooting a lot of them. You want to do like the 40 millimeter grenades? Well, it's basically just a lot of those. Grenades, it's just a lot of those. You get it. And then they like demolition rockets feature in Airsoft pretty heavily. They have other projectiles and stuff, but you get what I'm saying. Not many people, like even 150 FPS, they kind of go like, yeah, that's pretty good. It's a lot better than the Nerf. You get like 300 FPS, they immediately like, dude, I want to do a game. I want to do a game with this. This is insane. That's the audience that I want to get. And it's hard through YouTube to really fully explain how fun 250 FPS Nerf is, because it's a whole different game. Master Zach, I literally just said, I've done a video on my channel where I did an Airsoft review. But yeah, I have a Amoeba Striker A2, I think, the shorty bolt action. I specifically bought that one because it has a lot of upgrade parts that you can get for it, and it's one of the better like bolt actions, the Gen 2 at least. And it's fun, and it's like I don't have to worry about having specific gas or batteries or anything for it. So I doubt it, Laxus Yami. Super doubt that the Nerf Pro sidearm is going to be a mag-fed pistol. For $30, there's just no way. Please do a video on the Ice Phoenix. I don't have one. I'm not like super keen to do a video on one. Mostly just because it doesn't use the same caliber that like the Moose does, or the Moose has its own 50 caliber. The ones in the Ice Phoenix are smaller than that, and I don't want to have like a ton of different half length or quarter length or 40% whatever it is megas. I don't know, maybe. Walcom, is your loadout around the invert bandolier? So King Supreme, I like that bandolier because like wearing a chest rig sucks. Belts, keeping pants up also kind of sucks. I have both. I've used both in wars. I got that invert bandolier. It's like perfect. It's so lightweight, holds 4 mag. I can get 4 mags. I might be able to get one other mag holder in the middle, but with the ESIC, I think is what it's called. Those nice clicky mag holders I have. That's perfect. 4 mags is enough for a lightweight loadout. What's the highest FPS demolition rocket you've ever had? I actually don't know because they're hard to chronograph. And also, what do you compare them to? Other demolition rockets? It literally just said what it was, Foam Battalion. King Supreme, it's the invert bandolier. INVRT. I too have used belts in Nerf Wars. Sometimes not. No, so like for a fat guy, right? Like the problem with like the big chest rigs is like bending over to like pick up a dart. It sucks. Same thing with the belt. Like bending over, you got all this stuff around your chest and your lower body. Like battle belt, and it doesn't work. The little invert thing, perfect. Very easy to move around on. Vesic, hey Walcom, what do you think of the Mirage based on what we've seen so far? Super hyped for it, honestly. Seems like one of the best designs Nerf has done. The only thing I'm cautious about is the mag-in grip, but it looks to be like it'll be really good. And for $20, it seems like a steal. I think the finisher was $15 if I'm not mistaken. Like I'm pretty sure the finisher was $15. Yeah, $15. This seems like a way better version of that for 20. And this is 4 years later, so man, we are getting absolutely destroyed. So that's the thing that kind of makes me wonder about Hasbro's goal for 2024 and onwards. Because like the finisher was the first time we got like Rival, where it's like, it's okay, but they started cutting corners with Rival, and that was a no-no. Here we've got the Mirage, which looks way better for $5 more. Like if you go back, the Apollo was 30. Not 25, it says. I thought it was 30. And that thing's like very basic, honestly. The Zeus was 50, which never made sense to me. This blaster was way too expensive for what you got. But yeah, the finisher was like the first time where it's like they used like plastic leaf springs. They kind of cheaped out on Rival. It's not that it's a bad blaster, but a similar idea, the Mirage seems so much better. I find the slide prime a little odd. It's gonna be like a, you know, thumb hole wrist brace, which I like. I like having the wrist brace kind of action. And yeah, it's just a big old chunky backwards prime. I think it'll be great. I also think it'll be good. I would prefer that, I think. I don't know, because I don't have one. Then, like, the Vision's, like, you know, really wobbly rear prime. Yeah. Hey, Walcom, do you think the X-Shock ball blasters are worth it? They've only done the two, right? The Chaos Orbit and Meteor? I really like the Meteor. I think they're both okay. Actually, they've just, like, they haven't really done anything exciting with them. I really, like, I don't know why they gave up on the rival. Yeah, they made the two designs and that's all they did. Hey, Walcom, when's Nerf making a drum mag for rival? Well, they were going to, and then they canceled it. So I assume never. At the start of nerfing, I thought my dump patch was my most used gear nowadays, becoming my least used. It's coming around to chest rigs, and the invert really has my Chris. Yeah, I highly recommend the invert bandolier. Dump patches are like the mandatory thing. If there's one piece of gear that is universally like required for nerfing, it's a sling. You would not believe how much a sling will help you. One piece of gear. If there's one piece of gear, you can hold mags in your pockets. You can have a tactical reload hoodie. But the fact of the matter is, the freaking sling is the most important thing by far. That's my opinion. Why bring extra mags when you can bring an Infinus? I almost agree with you, except for the Infinus has so many problems. That being said, if you have an Infinus, I would carry like 1 or 2 spare mags and put a drum in the Infinus. So if I have to do a full reload, I can just drop the drum, slam in a mag. But otherwise, the mags are just there for decoration backup. Just got back into Nerf last year. Can you tell me why Rival's not making red and blue blasters anymore? First of all, welcome back. I find this happens with a lot of people. They grow out of Nerf and they immediately jump back in. They grow out of Nerf around 12, 13 and they jump back in around 19, 20. Simply because there's no point. It was kind of a gimmick and the gimmick never even really worked. The whole idea of the gimmick, I don't know how this would work on a personal level, was that like, oh, there's a red team and a blue team, but it never worked that way. And then they were making double of every single blaster. And then they stopped. There's so many times where it's like, oh, here's the blue charger. There's never a red charger. Here's a blue finisher. There's never a red finisher. But here's the red roundhouse. There's never a blue roundhouse. Here's the takedown. Well, they never did a blue takedown unless you count the Supreme version. But you get it. And it was always dumb. It never worked out. Oh, yeah, then they did the Phantom ones where it's like, hey, now we have a white team, too. And then they did all the crazy Chronos reshells. I just use a belt and dump patches. A lot of roller and my sling gets in the way. You have the wrong sling then, Terrell. I want to see someone attach a hopper to a cut down Infinus and make a portable auto reloader. There was the shark dart was kind of that idea. I really want to like make a good Infinus. I still don't have a good one. And I could do it too. Like I have all the tech. I'm just lazy. And opening one of those things is kind of scary. There's a lot of wires. Also, the best blasters came out of Phantom Core. That's kind of true. Garbage. Could be good. It has its issues. It has its moments. Freaking amazing. Meh. Absolutely god tier. Honestly, one of the best things Nerf has ever made. To be perfectly honest, Prometheus. The only problem is it was a $200 blaster. Which is insane to think about. They tried to sell the Prometheus. Like, it is not $200 worth of plastic. You know what? You want proof? Like, the Perseus was what? 80? 100? How much was the Percy's? I actually don't remember. I think it was 100. Where are you, Percy's? 100. Half the price. Basically a better blaster in every way. I still really like the Prometheus. But yeah, the Percy's was better. Yeah, Cooley, I have 2 or 3 in box. Man, I traded a brand new in-box Terra Scout for a freaking Percy's or Prometheus, and I was so upset about it because I couldn't get my hands on the Percy's or Prometheus and didn't have $200. I got the Terra Scout for like 100 or something like that, so it was a good trade at the time. But man, Prometheus, I got like 3 of them in box now. Do you think Rival will bounce back this year? Well, we only know of 2 blasters, and they both look really good. Is there a third Rival? I feel like there was a third Rival. There was like a $40 one. I don't remember. It looks like really it's just the Challenger and Mirage. They both look awesome. They also don't look like they're that much different. They seem like side grades. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. The Challenger is a Rival Strife, which is good, but the Charger already kind of did that. So did the Hera. And then the Mirage is, again, like the Finisher, or the Apollo, or the, what is that other thing called? I forgot the name of that other thing. Is it in this list? The Helios. Rival at Toys R Us is going downhill like crazy. Oh, right, you're Canadian. You still have those. Voidmate with a $1 super chat. It's their first super chat. Thank you very much, Voidmate. YouTube's going to love taking 30% of your dollar. I feel like the prime on the Mirage will be Stranger Gun. I don't know why everybody keeps saying that. It's fine. How's that any different than like what you get with the Apollo? It's not like the Apollo you were tactically priming. You had to grab that sucker. It's going to be the same thing, but from behind. It's going to be like it's literally like using a Chronos. It's like the same exact thing. It's a MagFed Chronos. Same idea. Or I guess for lack of better words, it's going to be just like the Finisher. I don't think it'll be a problem. Do you think Hyper has potential if Nerf does something good? Nope, Hyper's dead. We have not seen anything new Hyper. Ultra 2. Ultra's dead. It's very, very frustrating. Why do they like make these ammo types if they're not going to commit to them? Well, thank you, Voidmate. I want to try to do more modding on stream. Like I said, that was the entire point of this stream, but I couldn't find a use, like, because it keeps happening. I keep not being able to get my second camera to work. You need 2 cameras. I need like one facing me and one facing the workbench. And I finally found it after I started the stream. So we're good for next stream. Yeah, Primate, you're talking called the Challenger. Ultra sucked. Let's look at Ultra. Was Ultra really that bad? Let's look at Ultra really quick. Ultra 1 could have been good. The biggest problem with most of Ultra was the Dart DRM. That was stupid. Now, I've said this since day one, and I will say it now. Ultra darts are superior to pretty much everything. Why? Because they're durable AF. So the Dart DRM wasn't a problem. The price of the darts wasn't really a problem, because as long as you can find your dart, you can pretty much always pick it up and reuse it, and it will work just fine. If I'm not mistaken, the Ultra 1, the flywheels were on springs, so it was super inconsistent and super inaccurate, because Ultra darts were not accurate. One of the claims to fame, if they would show the box on this, farthest flying Nerf dart, if you could see the back of it, which they don't show, they always talked like maximum accuracy, and they were so inaccurate, so garbage. Is the design of the Ultra 1 bad? No, I don't think it is. They could have fixed it. They could have done it with version 2. It could have been better. A lot of people didn't like this grip. I thought it was wonderful. I thought the thing like pointed really well. I thought just about everything about the Ultra 1 was a really good design on the shell. I liked the fact that it had those dart holders in the back. Loved them so much, I put them on an Ultra 2. If this was rear loading, which it could have easily had been, it would have been so much better. Seriously, it deserved another shot. I think it looks cool. I think it was ergonomically, for me, it was fine. Could have been really good. But yeah, kind of garbage. F you, Dorado. Why are these out of order? F you! Eat my bunghole! Nerf Wiki. Let's go to the Ultra 2. Dude, this is such a good blaster. You don't even know. Even if you're using it for the strict purpose of being like a sidearm, you don't need the huge accuracy. The darts still fly fast. They still fly far. And it was the first time we got a revolver with rear loading from Nerf, and it worked so well. The Ultra 2 legitimately, besides the accuracy issues, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 blaster. So good. So, like, the fact Nerf has not, because when you rebarrel one of these things for full-length darts, they're so good. The fact that Nerf never went back to this design is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Like, from what I've heard from people in the industry, almost every blaster Hasbro makes is a design that they're licensing off another person or group. So they don't have the rights to the design. That's why you don't see a lot come out of this. But again, Ultra 2, amazing. It really did feel like, if you look at the grip of the Ultra 2, and if you look at the grip of the Ultra 1, it really did feel like the Ultra 2 was supposed to have a stock on it. And it's funny because I put the stock on it from the Ultra 1, and then Nerf gave me the Dorado, or the Scream Machine. This came out first overseas. I don't think it ever came out over here, but we did get the Scream Machine, which is the same blaster in blue. This is the same thing as the Ultra 2. I don't like the carry handle or anything like that, and it has a stock on it, which is, it's not a really good stock. It's just a very comfortable arm brace. Honestly, I think the foregrip is good too. I have a Dorado now. And I even think the carry handle is good, to be perfectly honest. The Ultra 4 is one of the easiest blasters you can modify. You basically don't even have to take the thing apart. You knock out the air restrictor, shove in a PVC, like a CPVC barrel, and you can get 130, 140 FPS out of this thing with barely doing anything. It's honestly, the weirdest part about this blaster, it's got that T-prime, which is very comfortable, but as you notice, it's indirect from the plunger tube. It's geared. So it's like super smooth and really nice to use. Just really awkward to try to aim with because the height over the bore is really insane. But it's a good blaster. And what is it, like 15 bucks? Yeah. I mean, that's pretty expensive for a single shot, but it's like a really nice single shot. One of the nicest single shots. Ultra 5. It's a thing. It's okay. Actually, the internal magazine with the Ultra Darts works really good because the Ultra Darts are very firm. This thing, like, legitimately, you could use this as a primary in a war, and you'd probably be pretty happy. Dump pouch full of darts and the Ultra 4. Or 5, sorry. Ultra 5 that holds 4 darts. Honestly, really cool blaster. I thought the grip was comfortable. A lot of other people said they didn't. I just don't like the design. The overall design's pretty garbage. Yeah, the 4 and the 5 should have switched numbers. Then again, the Ultra 4 shoots only, yeah, I think it came with 5 darts, right? No, it only came with 3. Well, I don't know why they called the Ultra 4. And obviously they stopped doing that. The 3. Dude, all you need to do is swap out that pump grip. Like, for like one that you'd see with like the Shockwave, like the Mossberg Shockwave. Something that would cover the front of your hand. And that you wouldn't have to like grip it as much as it would just lazily like guide. You just move your hand back and forth. It's pretty terrible, ugly. It is also like one of the most powerful. And again, internal mag, not bad. Ultra was prime for double stacked mags. The Nerf never did it. But the Ultra 3, it was half-baked. It could have been perfect. None of these blasters are accurate at all, by the way, unless you use the pinpoint darts, and I've never went back and used pinpoint darts in the old Ultra stuff. I think I tried it with the Ultra, the Ultra 2, and I don't think it worked any better. And I don't think they ever used... No, because the speed used them, I don't know. That's something I have to... Maybe I have to revisit that. The amp, this is just a Strife. It took them, what, 3 years? 2 years to get a Strife? Mag, detachable mag, better direction. The Pharaoh. Dude, this thing is so good. It is such a light prime because it's geared, and it shot really far, and it came with a 10-round mag. You couldn't hit anything with it, but like for a toy, like it's still really good. That's why I like the conversion kit for it so much. It's so good. But yeah, it's like it was $50, a little expensive, but it's pretty good. I still like him. The Focus, this was like $7. It might still be on sale. This is like $7 at one point, $12. It's an amp with an extra stock that holds a mag and didn't come with 2 mags because screw you. Here's a Scream Machine. It's the same thing as the Dorado with an arguably better or worse paint job. I like the Dorado more, to be perfectly honest. What else we got? The Select. Dude. This is another Nerf design that they need to go back to. This is the best Nerf design. This gimmick, granted, they could lock it up a little bit tighter, make it a little bit smoother. The idea of just pumping it to swap between 2 mags, so good. Like, I know you can kind of get something similar with like the double punch, but this was a dedicated primary flywheeler, full auto, garbage full auto, but full auto. I guess it was okay. The whole, they tout the gimmick as like, here's where we get the pinpoint darts, the thing that finally fixes Ultra. It doesn't make it the end all be all, but you can actually hit something with it now at the cost of a little bit of range. And you could switch between long or like high speed, longer range, or more accuracy, less range darts. That was their whole gimmick, but in reality, you'd never use the orange and black tips ever again. You wouldn't. It actually came with 2 clips too, or 2 mags, as you know, it should be. Honestly, like, I still have 3 or 4 of these in package. I think it's an amazing blaster. I didn't actually, the one Screamer? Crap. I've never got this. Is this on Obtainium now? Oh, man. The Strike. This thing's garbage. It's an amp. How much more does it cost? It costs like $20 more. And like, you don't get anything for it. Like, at all. Look at how that like grip, that like angled foregrip turns into a tactical rail. Like, and that flip up sight has no front sight. And the stock is not adjustable. And it's still semi-auto. It's so bad. Why does this exist? This blaster, this is like the first time it's like, what were you thinking? It's in the same color scheme as the amp too. Is that an Amazon? No, it's found at Target. I will die on this hill. The Ultra Speed is a good blaster. It is. Super fast full auto for C batteries. I really liked the way it held the mags. I liked the design of the new mags. Granted, if you did a partial reload, you'd lose a dart because it'd pop out. But these cassette style magazines were so much better. I like the design. And this is like some of the most fun you could have with stock blaster. Granted, the Percy's is a thing. But for a dart blaster, like, you got high rate of fire and you got pretty good range and full, like, this is a good blaster. The problem is it was $72. And for some frickin' obnoxiously stupid reason, Hasbro released this with the new mags and the Strike at the same time. The Strike uses the old mags. The Speed uses new mags. The only way to get those mags was buying the Speed. And Granted, if you flipped this one around, it didn't lock into place the same well, but if you flipped that mag around, so the loading port, the open port of the mag, was at the bottom right there. It was so easy to reach into a dump pouch and just slam a dart into that mag. It didn't lock in perfectly. That was the problem. But I don't know why Hasbro didn't design it to do that and just marketed that as a feature. This is another blaster that is so close to greatness. It could have been good, but for some reason they did literally everything possible to make you not like it. There's a reason like people were pissed about this blaster, because it was new magazines, which meant all your old Rivals or Ultra stuff was useless. They could have, when this was the last thing, this was 2021, I think? 2022. No way. Really? Yeah, we haven't had a Rival or an Ultra blaster in over a year. So Ultra's dead. It could have been good. This is like, it was too expensive for no reason. There's nothing in this design for that price range. If they would have made more blasters with this magazine geometry, and they would have dropped the price of this like $50, like, or for $70 had a rechargeable battery, it could have been perfect. This is a good blaster. It honestly could have been one of the best. Also, that rev trigger is awful, but you know what I'm saying. So, as a whole, I still think Ultra has its merits. The thing I think Hasbro, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but the thing I think Hasbro was shooting for with these is less impact damage. They wanted the farthest flying dart they could get that when it hit you, didn't sting. And Ultra succeeds at doing that. I've never been hit by an Ultra dart and went like, ow! They're just well-designed darts in that match. They're just very lightweight, not very ergonomic, and prone to issues. And when they finally fixed those issues, it was too little too late. This is another line that Nerf, like, I think my biggest issue is that Nerf they never commit to anything, right? They never commit to anything. They were running 2 or 3 Ultra blasters. Actually, like, look at this. They got the 2, the 3, the Pharaoh, the 4, the 5, and the Dorado, all in 1 year. Like, that's more than, like, most of the time any brand from, or line from Nerf gets. And then we go back to, like, yeah, here's 4 blasters, here's 3, and then we're done. We're not, no more. Done. Out of them. And some of these were just like, oh, here's the 1 Screamer, here's the Scream Machine, here's the Focus, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, really, in 2021, we really got the Amp and the Select. The Focus is another Amp, and the Scream Machine's another Ultra 2 with some bits added to it. Hasbro ripped me off. They just didn't commit, but here in the first, they were trying so hard, because they're trying to sell you the razor blades, they're the razors, the blasters, to sell the razor blades, the darts. It didn't work. It was a knee-jerk reaction to Dart Zone releasing the Pro Mark 1. I don't think that's true, Lanix. I think it was a completely different thing. I think they were trying to skirt the own laws that they were trying to there was something about Hasbro trying to implement like jewel laws. Like, if it hits over, if a projectile weighs a certain weight, it can only fire at this FPS because that's the jewel, the velocity, kinetic energy that it would hit. And they were on the forefront of pushing this law. And I'm pretty sure it fell through, but the funniest part is the maximum cap was like what Rival did. So they were trying to like, oh no, you can make Rival, or everybody else is making Rival now, but it's hitting harder than ours and we can't have that. Yeah, well, the Ultra Speed is $72, right? Right? I just talked to Corey from the Modern Rogue. Shed Logic is his new channel. Shed, S-H-E-D, Logic, L-O-G-I-C. He found Ultra Speeds at like, I think it was H-E-B, $12. I told him I'd buy a pallet at that price. Because this is such a... If I had 12 ultra speed mags, I'd mod an ultra speed. I'd run an ultra speed. Are you kidding me? This blaster is so good for what it is. And I don't mind Nerf Ultra. 130 FPS, 150 FPS, I'd use a modified Ultra. Again, classic Hasbro. Eliminate your competition through legal rather than make better stuff. That is true. I don't... Like, Hasbro has a weird problem where they're trying so desperately to, like, keep this image of family-friendly, blah, blah, blah. And, like, they really shouldn't be, because, like, Nerf Rival is ages 14 and up. It's supposed to be, like, the alternative to paintball. That's literally what it is. And yet they still kind of, like, make it, like, as if it's made for ages 8 and up. Because they know, like, oh, here's a Nerf blaster for, like, you imagine giving, like, a little kid a Rival Percy's? He'll probably freaking love it. But, man, that thing hits so much harder. He goes and pelts his friend with it full auto in the face. Yeah, it's going to suck. But now the genie's out of the bottle. Dart Zone, X-Shot, they're all doing pro stuff. And look who limps to limping to the finish line, getting ready for the next lap. It's the Ultra Pro, or Nerf Strife. Strife X. Honestly, I think these blasters could be great. I'm mad that Nerf didn't try. But I tell you, the Dragon Darts, man. Those are the best darts. And if Nerf went all in on Ultra Foam short darts, you guys are not ready. But it's Hasbro. It's always Monkey Pod. You know what I mean? They'll always screw something up. Maybe Nerf has an issue with being for everyone, so wants to be friendly for kids. I mean, you could say that, right? Like, they want to be family friendly for kids, but the problem is, like, it's always kind of been this way where it's like kids want what the older kids think is cool. It's true. Like, when you're 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, you always want what your 16, 17, 18-year-old brother or whatever, sister, usually brother, sisters are weird. You want that. You want the cool stuff that the older kids are playing with. That's why when I was a kid, we did Airsoft and Paintball. Like, that was the thing when it's like 12, 13, 14, 15. And it's like, because all the old kids, all the, the 18 to 22-year-olds were all playing with that. But that's what we wanted. We wanted that, so we didn't want Nerf. Who wanted Nerf? That's where I come in now. I'm 33 years old. And I tell you that 200 FPS Nerf is a lot of fun. Arguably more fun than your Airsoft. Now, if you want the realistic replica blah, blah, blah of Airsoft, I can't help you. Because Nerf is not that. And it's fun to get semi-realistic designs and stuff in Nerf. It's super fun. But if that's all you care about, Nerf is never going to be for you. But if you care about the fun, like, there's so many things that foam flinging does that Airsoft and stuff doesn't. And the thing I will always have against Airsoft is, like, even if you have all of the customization, 3D printing, and all the stuff that you can do with Airsoft, you're literally just shooting a tiny, weightless plastic BB. No matter how you Airsoft, that's your projectile, and that is the fault of Airsoft. It is the most unsatisfying shot and most unsatisfying hit imaginable. Paintball, like, you shoot it, it goes thunk, and when it hits you, it goes splat. I see the appeal. Problem with paintball, 90% of paintball is hopper, watch it. Dude, we need to watch, like, a freaking stupid paintball championship where it's just like, dumping half my balls on the ground, trying to reload my hopper while I walk the trigger, camping behind a cover. It's so garbage. Who likes that crap? Who honestly likes watching that? And yet for so cool. And then after that, you're like, oh, it's paintball. It's done. It is. No, Vesic, I make the argument that bowling is fun. Golf is fun. Like, I like golf. It's one of the most boring sports. Like, but if you can get into golf, like, if you golf and you watch golf, you see the fun of it. Golf is usually more fun for me to watch than baseball. Then again, I don't think really anybody likes actually watching baseball. Baseball's super fun to play. Honestly, fat kid loves baseball. Why? Because it's short sprints, short durations. Soccer is the most fun thing to watch, but for a fat kid, it's the worst sport ever. Paintball sucks. No imagination, no fun. At least with the airsoft crowd, they have the imagination and they have fun. And granted, there's like shotguns are super fun in paintball or airsoft. Snipper rifles are pretty fun. Pistols are really good in airsoft because you gotta have a pistol that hits as far and as hard as your freaking rifle. Like, it's, you know, kind of stupid, but also kind of awesome. But the novelty, I cannot explain this enough, that you get bored of airsoft and paintball. Like, the thing with airsoft is, like, you will buy so many different airsoft things trying to chase the dragon that was the feeling of your first airsoft thing. Do you know anybody who airsofts that only owns like 1 or 2 airsoft things? No. They've probably spent thousands of dollars. They're constantly buying new airsoft stuff all the time. They're buying those cheap, crappy, you know, Walmart specials and Amazon clearance and all that kind of stuff, just so they can have a different thing to hold that shoot the plastic BB. It's just bleh. It never, ever works out. And I mean, it's kind of like you could make the argument that Nerf is kind of, I mean, I have thousands of blasters, blah, blah, blah. But we talked about it earlier where it's like the Nexus Pro is still good. I don't like it, but that's because it's like, oh my God, priming that thing. It's like going back to a Gen 1 Caliburn where it took so much effort to get 150, 200 FPS out of Caliburn. Go watch my original Caliburn video from like 2017. And like look at like, full length of K26, 200 FPS maybe. Shooting full length darts out of that thing. It's garbage. That's what it feels like using a freaking Nexus Pro now. Because even at the time, it was like, we had the technology. We had metal bolt sleds and metal internals and all that stuff for retaliators that really rigid that thing up and made it super solid. And freaking, you know, Nexus Pro is like, even if you had all of the metal internals, it's still sloppy and creaky and ugh. Scott says, soccer is the most fun. I think hockey takes the game. I've never played hockey. There's a barrier of entry to hockey that is just a sheer cliff for some people, man. Ultra darts curve more than rival curve shot blasters. Not so much with the pinpoint darts. Hello, Marina. When is it going to read out Striker's freaking thing? My goodness. Marching band is boring to watch unless you're a part of it. Yeah. Hold on. What about water guns? Nobody actually likes a super soaker thing after the first 30 seconds to 1 minute. It is super fun for the first minute, and then you're done.
We played Springers 250 and GBS capped at 200.
Once you get soaked, it's done. Like, it's no longer fun. You'd still do it, but like, there's no structured way to super soak. Striker with a $2 super chat. It's their 10th super chat on a live stream. I don't know when YouTube started doing that. We play Springers 250 and gel balls capped at 200. I can see that working. I have thousands of blaster blah 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 is an interesting sentence. I mean, I do, Silo. It's true. I'm not trying to brag. I have way too many. I really wish to get rid of a lot of them. Base level paintball is really fun. Everyone having a very limited guns, but you have to really try hard. I could see that, Vinyl. Yeah, I could see that. I've always wanted to get those little like 5-shot paintball pistols. Like, I've always wanted one of those and never got one because like there was no use to it practically. It's like, oh, it's a sidearm and only a sidearm. And I'm like, when the hell am I ever going to need a sidearm for paintball? Like, really, the only reason I'd ever have to draw a sidearm is if I'm out of ammo for my paintball, Like, it's really, like, I guess you could get a squib, like a bursted paintball inside the chamber, which would make all your other paintballs either break apart or fly really erratically, and then you'd use your secondary. But other than that, it's like, yeah, I guess I'd draw to shoot at 2 targets at once or something for 5 seconds. But yeah, I really wanted one of those pistols, like the kind that have like 5 shots above the base. Yeah, I've always wanted one. Water balloons are so much better than the Super Soaker. Don't disagree, Silver Squid, but it's only probably fun for like the first couple of minutes. There's Pro Lacrosse in the US. That's an interesting looking game. I've never played it. I didn't even know what lacrosse was until I was in my 20s. I've never been on one of your streams before. What is your opinion on the RC planes hobby? I mean, I don't have RC planes. I've got a drone. I've got a Mavic Air 2S or whatever. But, man, the one hobby that I am dangerously close to getting into, I'm glad I've had no money for the last couple of months, is Mini Z. I found out Mini Z was a thing. I didn't know that was a thing. Now I know it's a thing, and it's basically X mods, but on, like, our level. Like, completely DIY, custom parts, hundreds of dollars in one machine. And there's like, oh, you got the Mini Z Drifter. You got the Mini Z four-wheel drive, the front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive. You could have a Mini Z Rock Crawler. I want this so bad. Oh man, I met it, like, I went to the pet store. There was no longer a pet store there. It was an RC car shop. And I made friends with the owner immediately. I haven't been back in months. I still talk to the guy regularly. Yeah, RC stuff is bomb. Those guys go hard. Some of those fun I had doing paintball was dropping 8x smoke grenades at once low and actually created visual hell for everyone. Congratulations on your PS5, Tommy. I refused to get into Gunpla because I'd get bankrupted immediately with too many cool robots. Yes and no. So, Gunpla can be a super cheap, super accessible hobby that you can get some of the best hours to dollars investment there is. Where Gunpla falls apart is when you're chasing old kits or like P-Bandai kits, or you're buying like nothing but perfect grades. But if you like, seriously, I think my perfect grade unicorn, even for me, and I never even finished it, I think I did a stream where it took me 6 hours to build one leg. Got to cut all the parts, clean nubs, sand it down, all that stuff. And then, like, you imagine if you're actually painting it. Like, ridiculous. Gunpla is actually not bad, to be honest. It's just like, yeah, when you're looking for specific machines, like I want a Schwarbel, oh my god, that thing from Unicorn where it lands on the deck of, like, I think it was the Nail Argama, and it's like the Zaku with the shoulder pads. So the first thing it does is it whips out, it does that like mine whip thing where it just puts a string of mines over the flight deck, the catapult, and blows it up, and then like the things land and it takes off its shoulder pads and they're like gauntlets, and it boxes a whole bunch of like Federation suits on the deck of this ship. Whatever the Schwarbel Graze? I can't remember. I can't pronounce it. It's something German sounding. That's like a $130 high grade. Like, I'm not paying. It's like a $12 kit. I'm not paying that much money. Put away that Mavic and get a real quad FPA drone. I would love to, Striker. That's too much money for me. Airsoft only makes me smile the first 2 days of getting a new. Exactly, Shadow. That's what I was saying. How did the target drones you got? I need to finish that video. They're fun. I don't know if they're $30 fun. They're fun. Once found a couple of Gundam figures for like $4.99 store. It was the figures where you can swap different body parts around. I mean, that's like any figure of a Gundam. You could usually do that, CF. I triple dog dare you to mod an Elite 2.0 blaster. I don't know about that, Moon Pie. Maybe I'll mod a, what's that thing called? The full auto thing. I forgot the name of it right now. I really like it. Walcom, what blaster would you give someone that wanted to get into pro-grade nerfing for the first time? That is an awesome question, Santi. I mean, there is the obvious answer of like a Tryon. I think the Tryon is really good for what it is. If you could get the Tryon for like under $70, I think it's a good one. I'm like trying to think, there's so many. I'm probably like, no, there's a thing that replaces the Tryon outright. And I'm trying to remember what the heck it is. There's so many pump action magazine fed springers now. Mark 1.2, nah. Mark 4, no. I know there's something that rivals a Tryon. Okay, yeah, so we're talking like a Seagull. I don't know if the Seagull would necessarily have the same mind blow that a Tryon would. Same thing with the, the X-Shot long shot. That's a pretty good option. See, that's the thing. Is like I keep forgetting a $30 X-Shot long shot, even though it's one of the best blasters. You do have to buy some extra parts for it to make it truly great. But yeah, it's either that or it's either the long shot or the Tryon. And I think the Tryon's just a really, because you can get 200 FPS out of that thing, like right out of the box, and it's customizable. If there was a Tryon 2 that had a scar muzzle, that would have been better. But I think the biggest problem with worker stuff is the accessibility. Because, like, you got to buy it off Amazon or some other shop online. You can't, like, hold it in a store unless you're going to a specialty shop. Hey, Walcom, what do you want to see from X-Shot Pro in 2024? I want to see a flywheeler. And I think they could do it. If I already have an Aeon Pro, what is the point of ever getting an Nexus Pro or Max Striker? Obviously, the Nexus Pro or Max Striker are going to be pump action magazine fed, more primary-ish. I honestly, William, would look into getting a pump action kit for your Aeon Pro because the Aeon Pro is much better internals than either of those blasters. The RG God Gunda was my holy grail when it was announced. I had to get it. Ask me if I've built it yet. I still want to put together my RG Sazabi. Oh no, Shenanju. Sorry. I don't like the Sazabi. I love the design of the Shenanju. I heard the RG Shenanju is not very good, but man, is it like the sexiest kit. I think I built the one leg, and then put it in a box, never put it back together. Is there an easy way to bring the X-Shot long shot down to 130 FPS? Use heavier darts. You try worker green tips. Or put a longer barrel on it, or put a scar, like put a different barrel and a scar on it with the stock plunger. I think that's what I did for HVZ. I friction fit a scar barrel on my Tryon with electrical tape and it works amazing. I mean, yeah, you could do that. It seems to me that we aren't really seeing anything new or interesting in the Nerf community. Every new blaster release is just a reshell of the last with better internals, says Ender Star 114. I mean, so that's not exactly true. You're just not looking in the right places. The problem is like, what are you looking to get out of the hobby? So, for example, there's a blaster that was just released, the files today, called the Yeet Lance, which is a bolt-action, breech, shell-loading snipper rifle. Pops up, put a shell in, close it, prime it back, fire, repeat. Super good. Like, honestly, super fun. That looks about as fun as you can have. But I don't like shells. Why doesn't it hit 200,000 FPS? Why doesn't it go full auto? It's like, you can't win. You know what I mean? Same thing with, like, I keep showing this because this blaster has seriously not left my sight. The Blaster 1942, the Liberator. This thing is so stupid fun. Love it. Would absolutely love to rock it in a war. Is it good? For what it is, yeah. But is it actually like a competitive, awesome, like, no, of course not. Hell no. And the first time, I think if you go look at the community tab and you look up that thing, that's like, everyone's like, I wish it didn't use shells. You're missing the point. Like, what do you want? There are lots of good, interesting things. I just saw a double slab. Like, there's files for a double slab. I want that so hard. It's not even funny. The Solo. The Dart Zone, I don't know why they rose. I know why they rose the price on it. Dart Zone Solo was $15. Then it was $9. Now it's $18. At $18, they still sold out. I don't think it's an $18 blaster, to be honest. I think it's a $15 blaster pretty solidly. Man, that's a fun, awesome blaster. And you got all these, like, you know, here's a triple barrel for it. Here's a mega barrel for it. Here's another triple. This one is the one that you can mount on a rail. It's got a thing. You just, yeah. You just put some, like, I think it's M4 screws, and it turns into, look at that, you can put it on the bottom of your blaster and have a shotgun. There's also an Ultra one. You get it. Lots of fun. Like, there's so many good things if you're willing to look. There's so many ways to have fun. The biggest issue is, like, getting the really interesting stuff. It's just hard to do with 3D printing and whatnot. That's, like, the biggest barrier, is that, like, trying to get little tiny pieces, do lots of really complicated movements, and last with 3D printing is very difficult. With companies like Hasbro, they could very easily do it. Harris, hey Walcom, where do you stand on the Dart Zone Pro Mark IV? It is a better Swift in a lot of ways. It is it's a crime that they designed it the way they did. I don't know why. I feel like they had a reason, because there's no way they overlooked it. The fact that you can't have both the long range barrel extension and the scar muzzle on it at the same time is stupid. Absolutely dumb. But I challenge anybody to name any blaster that you could put in a competition where people are trying to win with money on the line, and you give them a new blaster they've never really used before and have it last all day. I have never seen a blaster take as much abuse as the Mark IV and shrug it off like nothing was even there. Seriously, I think the Mark IV is a nigh unkillable platform. That's no joke. If you spent $180 on it, I think you got your money's worth. It is, a Mark 4.1 could be just the best. Will it ever happen? I doubt it. And it sucks that very few people understand that. I can keep saying it all I want, but few people are going to understand. See, I'm going to buy a Harrier, baby. I don't think I'd trust a Harrier to go through the abuse that I saw the Mark IV go through and just shrug it off. The worst I had was a couple of jams. I had like a tent stake, like a tent rod to unjam it. And that was like as bad as it gets. Like sometimes they got jammed around the plunger or the pusher, and I just have to fish in there with my knife and pull them out. But those things got dry fired, thousands of shots through them over 2 days, literally thousands. We had 36,000 darts, and I think we went through nearly 20,000 of them. Not counting reusing of darts, which some were. In the first day, I had 10, 12 Mark IVs? I think it was 10. That went through, 10,000 shots, I think? Maybe it was 16,000. Didn't care. That, again, doesn't count people picking up darts off the ground and putting them in there. The thing literally does not care. And I don't think Dart Zone gets enough credit for that. Hey, thanks for joining as a member, Aaron P360. You see that little dart next to your name, Aaron? That's going to be there whenever you comment on my channel. It's not just live streams, although you do get access to the emotes. You get that little dart. And not only does that show up on every comment you put on my channel, so you stand out from literally everybody else in the comment section, but the longer you're a member, the more your dart grows and evolves. As you can see, if some of my other members would chat up, like you see Bots and Blasters up there, he's got a Titan rocket. There's lots of them. I had a friend go to a paintball field with a seagull. They let him run it. He actually got tags. More interesting, people actually convinced some of them to come fling foam. Yeah, that's how you do it. That's like what Bradley Phillips does. He goes like plays gel ball and stuff like that. I think even airsoft. I don't know if it's like completely illegal, but I do know he like plays against gel balls with Nerf and wins. Do you think Fortnite is dead / will die soon? I think it's way past its peak, Dylan. And I see where Epic is trying to put it into like, oh, now it's a whole platform like Roblox kind of thing. And it could be super fun that way. I don't know if it has. I think it's going downhill. I think it's trending down. Bobix Gaming. I've been watching your vids for years, and I've seen some really weird blasters reviewed. Also, my phone flinging loadout right now is the Shellington Renfield with a red dot and a Nightingale as a secondary. Ah, yes, the good old bolt action with a pistol sidearm. Can't go wrong with that, Bobix. My phone flinging loadout is flinging with my neighbor the Nexus Pro and a Deuce Pro. That could work. That I could see that working. basically at that point, your Deuce Pro is just a sidearm. And it's a weird sidearm because it's not the most reliable sidearm ever because of the skipping of the cylinders and stuff like that, but it could work. Good work. Master Zach, hey, well, I'm pretty sure you did a video of a guy making a Nerf gun look like a Rust. I'm pretty sure you did a video of a guy making a Nerf gun look like the Rust KK. Just wondering if you want to see more Nerf guns like Rust guns. Not only did I do like 3 or 4 of them, the guy making it was me. I did a whole video showing every single step of the process. One day you'll be like me, says Homely. Homely's got the eponymous, the rocket from the arrow from the 1995 Kenner crossbow, and Fallon's got the Nerf ball. I made all those by hand. I'm very proud of them. It'd be cool to see the Nerf equivalent of Arc Survival involves long neck rifle. It's one shot, could be shell fed, can snipe breech loads from the reel, and is lever action. I really want a Nerf like rolling block rifle, like so bad. How hard is it to upgrade a sledge fire? It's always been my dream blaster. Not that hard, Santi. Make Test Battle has a old but a goodie video on how to get a sledge fire hitting real hard. What is your main foam loadout? Bobix, I don't use one loadout, ever. I use whatever I feel like using. Do you think the Nerf brand is as dead? No, they still outsell every single one of the competitors all together combined. But I think they are hurting. They're feeling the squeeze. My typical loadout is a pump action long strike. Pump action long strike. That's a little rare. Nightingale, classic sidearm. Mark II, Ice Phoenix, and a short foam deck. Why do you need to have 4 pistols on you? Like, so you've got 3 completely different ecosystems on you at once. Nightingale, that's a sidearm. The Nightingale's really good for if your primary's jammed or you really just like, okay, I'm going to, I'm going to take out this, I'm going to clear a room or clear a corner or whatever and put it back. That's a good one. That's really good to have with pump action. It does something that your primary doesn't, but it's also really reliable as a secondary. The Mark II, that is only useful as a, oh no, my primary is jammed, I need to swap to something. Mark II will do that. Again, solid primary, or solid sidearm. Very reliable. Because it's not flywheeler, it's pretty much going to work probably every single time. I have never really had that much problems with the Mark II. The lockup on those is super solid. You can always have a dart in the chamber. Top loads, if you really need to fight for a long time without your primary. Ice Phoenix, short and mega mag and grip. Like, that's, you're doing, like, yeah, it's a different ammo type, sure. That's always a good thing. If your game lets you use short mega as the same as full length mega, that's pretty good. But why would you have all 3? That makes no sense. And a dagger. I have a Stonewall dagger that I love. It's like my favorite thing. Aaron P. Hey, Walcom, I've been a fan for years now, but I've just recently gotten into pro level hobby. I love your videos. Look forward to your future products. I got lots to show you, Aaron. Thank you very much for your support. Game Fan Milk. Do you have Mega XL has any future? Not from Hasbro.
Nerf members celebration.
Thank you very much for the $2 super chat, Austin Christmas. Yes, he's got the 1995 Kenner crossbow arrow too. CF, I wish Nerf would revisit the Prizzy SEs like the Infamous or Regulator implement them in Pro Blasters. Well, apparently those designs, apparently most of Nerf's best designs are licensed. So they can't reuse the mechanism because they don't own it, apparently. Master Zach, so I'm guessing you play Rust? I have not played Rust in years. I have been clean long enough. What is the best foam blaster in your opinion? There is no best, Ellison. It's whatever you like, but it's also definitely probably inverted scales is really hard to beat right now. I do want to get the actual barrel and SCAR or BCAR for that blaster to see it be accurate because there's no reason why it can't be accurate. I just didn't have the setup that they said was good. What is the most silent flywheel? The lowest powered, quietest one. Opinion on Fortnite Nerf. Most of them are garbage. It's just reused design for reused design for reused design. Hey, it's a thing we made 10 years ago. Now it's just in a different shell. Fortnite. Man, so many. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And it's very annoying. Be a little more original. If I don't answer your questions because you're not being original, I don't want to answer it. I don't know if I have frustrated cowboy dreams, but I love hammer pride, lever action, shell blasters. Can't have enough of that. I agree, Santi. That's kind of my favorite. I just really waiting for that Hammer Prime that makes me really sing its praises. Was the Conquest Pro better than the Nexus Pro? For reliability, probably not. For everything else, yes. I think the Conquest Pro is an awesome blaster. Hello, Marina. Hey, Walcom, do you think Nerf give up on AEBs? They're too expensive, Gabriel. Diana is technically quietest. That's not wrong, Fallon. That is not wrong. What's something that you were anticipating and it exceeded your expectations? When was the last time that happened? I actually don't know. I don't remember the last time that happened. I'm sure somebody will tell me the last time that I said that in a video, but I quite honestly don't remember the last time that happened. Hey, what's the highest you can get out of an SBF? Hello, Marina. It's a single stage, and it's meant for a certain SPF cap, and it hits like 165. You might be able to get like 175, 180 with lightweight darts, like the Worker green or purple tips. But yeah, it's meant for a very specific thing. Not every blaster is about the performance, like the velocity. Because the SBF is designed specifically for a thing. Crop that in. Dude, how do I... Whatever. I can't fix that. It's bothering me. Nerf Double Punch? Man, I wish that thing was more moddable. But for what it is, it's amazing. Are you going to make a plush? I want to, but I'm not big enough yet. Trying to make the Rust custom SMG. I had plans. Actually tried at one point.
This month's quota for shenanigans and not paying YouTube. Lol.
Thank you very much for the $10 tip, Rohiran. Yeah, if you donate using the link that constantly pops up on screen, or just go to walcom s7.com. YouTube doesn't get their cut. Streamlabs only takes like a percentage, like a tiny percentage. I probably got like $9.50 of that $10, as opposed to YouTube taking $3 of it and then taking 2 months to pay me. Thoughts on the Moto Blitz? I did a whole video on it. Look it up on the channel. Hello, Marina. Thoughts on sticky darts? They can be super fun, but they're not practical. Where can I get some of those targets that you use in your shooting range? The little circular ones that pop up automatically. Wolfhawk, those are the E-Shooter Sentry 2 targets. Just type in E-Shooter, E-S-H-O-O-T-E-R, Sentry, S-E-N-T-R-Y, 2. You'll find them. They're like 50, 60 bucks if you buy one at a time, but if you buy more, they give you a discount. Man, those things are awesome. I take them with me to wars and all sorts of stuff. Whenever I like try to show something off when I'm like traveling or whatnot, I will take those targets because they're so good. They're the best physical targets I've seen in Nerf. By far. Like, yeah, of course you can get little things. Like, I think Evike sent me some like little metal tin cans. You shoot them and they fall over. They're like flat. Like, they're just little like bookends, basically. Yeah, those work. But the E-Shooter ones are not that expensive and they're perfect. Like, you can use a lot of different things, but I think the E-Shooter ones are the best that I've used. Ellison, hello, I'm pretty new to Nerf Blasters. What do you have? Well, I don't know what you're looking for, Ellison. I don't know what your budget is. Again, you can look through my channel and find a whole bunch of stuff. I'm sure I clickbaited cheapest blaster, all that kind of stuff all over. I think I did a best pump action magazine fed springers 9 months ago, and there's like 9 more pump action springers that came out after that video. Off the top of my head, like, it kind of depends on what you're looking for. If you're just playing, if you're you know, 11 years old and you're playing with your friends and they only have stock Nerf, you probably don't want to go out and buy a Game Face Try-On. That's also like an $80 blaster. But if you're like, you want to get into higher FPS foam flinging, yeah, it's going to be $80, or go get an X-Shot long shot. Like, that's pretty much my answer. X-Shot long shot hits hard, super moddable. Problem, plunger tubes break. You pretty much need to buy an aftermarket plunger tube before you even get the blaster. Haha, thank you, Wolfhawk. If you could design a Nerf arena, how would you do it? Man, Silo, that is a whole stream. But I can tell you the first thing I wouldn't do is make it a hallway that people have to fight through. Arenas should be circular. No corner should only have one entrance, one exit. It should always be having a flow. You need to be able to design an arena to be a flow. Because otherwise it's really boring. A la Dart Wars. I mean, I've shot mine a lot of times, Prime Tech, and not a single one has malfunctioned in any way. Is Nerf giving up on attachment packs? Maybe, Shadow, but there's a Gear Up pack coming out for the new Nerf line. We don't know what that means right now, but yeah. They might be doing a pack. It also might just be one of those stupid Nerf packs where it's like they put 3 garbage blasters and sell it to you for 25 bucks. What is your go-to Nerf pistol for HVZ games? For HVZ? You cannot go wrong with the standard hammer shot, Captain Rex. It's a hammer shot. It's reliable. It works. You don't need flywheels, although if you want to go flywheels, you got the Nightingale. And yeah, I can see you using half darts for a Nightingale, because obviously that's the only way it's going to work. You don't really need to have extra magazines, but you can carry 1 or 2 extra mags for your Nightingale. Works fine. If you want to go baller, Diana. Except for I think that hits like 150. Maybe with heavy darts you can get under 130. A video on Nerf arenas and some ideas concept would be fun to watch. Maybe CF, maybe. I don't want to give away all the secret sauce I have planned in my head. I got a lot. If I had like 2017 Drac levels of money, I would have already opened up a Nerf arena and probably went out of business and, you know, overdosed on ketamine in a dumpster behind Taco Bell. I've been a Nerf body for a while, but never been able to find a game or HVZ near me. How can I find one? That's the problem, isn't it, Ethan? You can always check Facebook. There is a website. There's a couple of them. Somebody will post it in the chat, I'm sure, where they show you like it's like a map where it shows all the groups that are registered there. But the final option is like, hey, get some friends together, you know, make your own game. If you had to pick a pistol to complete your trio of branded blasters, what would it be? Your trio of branded blasters? Are you talking about the fact that I have the Kieran, which I need to do the video on, and then the Shot Fun, the Firefly? Are you talking about a pistol in that? Oh. If I were to have my own pistol, obvious answer would be something super high-end, because obviously I like high-end. But if I really wanted something economical and useful, I'd want to have like a little, like something that you could very easily top load that will hold multiple darts that you could really use as a backup. Captain Rex, I don't have a go-to loadout. If I were to use any pistol right now, assuming it cleared the FPS cap, man, my opinion is really flipped on this. My original video on the Diana was super negative. I warmed up a little bit on it because I started to understand exactly what this thing was supposed to be used for. And when I got the holster with the reed switch and all that kind of stuff, to where it's like now it starts revving when you pull it out of the holster and everything, this is God. This is God. This is like the best sidearm you could probably have. I don't think anything comes close to this as a sidearm. And that's, I do think there are technically better or more functioned blasters than the Diana, but here's the thing. Anything Nightingale style uses Nightingale mags, and I think Nightingale mags are very flawed. These mags are perfect. Never even remotely had a jam with them. The rate of fire's fine. It's not as responsive as I'd like it to be, but it's fine. Full auto, very much fast enough. Burst fire, it works. It's super compact. The best part about this, though, is that it is so unbelievably stout. This thing is about as good as it can get. Like, it's all injection molded. It's all nylon. It feels amazing. 10 out of 10. I honestly, I might still have the footage. My first review of this blaster was very negative. It had a trigger delay even with the hotshot mode on. I couldn't spam the trigger as fast as I wanted to. It's $250 for a brushless blaster that doesn't seem to be using any of the brushless part of the brushless. So many issues. Holy crap, did I flip on that. That's why I took my time with this one. Again, I don't know if I recommend it to anybody. I honestly don't. It's basically like, hey, do you have the money? Do you want basically solid B in every single category pretty much? Then yeah, get the Diana. E-shooter targets are currently $70, but they'll give you 10% off your 4-star. That's not bad, Wolfhawk. So that's the blaster, like as a sidearm. That's pretty much what I'd do. You say custom Zinc 2.0, aka Zinc is better. It's a completely different blaster for a completely different purpose. Zincs, like the Zenk and the Zik and the Zinc, and of course the Zinc itself, those are springers, and there's I can't use the word today. It has its own mag. So that is a pistol that I would primary, and I would have each version of it to hit each FPS cap. But one problem is they're very hard to aim. And the other problem is, yeah, the magazines are wonky. Turbine, that's the name of that thing I can't remember earlier. Turbine or Motoblitz? Motoblitz. Motoblitz. Hello, Marina. Motoblitz. You should be sorry, E100, for being so late. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you very much for showing up at all. I still pro Nightingale. I think the Nightingale's great. Semi-auto Nightingale's more than good. It is actually awesome. You rarely need anything more than a Nightingale. It is like everybody, if you're doing short darts, blah, 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 everybody should have a Nightingale. It is your USP. It is your standard basic sidearm. It doesn't get better than that. Does the Diana do some things better? Yes, and that's why I like it. But my biggest problem with Nightingales is the mags. I think the Nightingale mags are garbage, and that is the reason why I think the Diana wins, because these mags are so much better. It's not even funny. Proprietary, thank you. I'm stupid. Tertiary. I make it a half-dart revolver with shells if the prime is bad. Oh, it reminds me of the Magpie. Look for my most realistic revolver video, Lincoln. Oh my god, I am so flippin' hungry right now. Oh. I'm so hungry. I wonder if I'm getting any food anytime soon. Because I am hungry. Fetch the Peacher Wall Cannon! Nightfinder versus Maverick. Ooh, Nightfinder's better. Have you had a chance to use that Maker Sniper in a war? Cam, to be perfectly honest, I probably will never get the chance, but I have brought them to wars and have shot people with them at wars, but I didn't really field them. It was more just showing it off. I want to use the Shellington Kieran with a Ziploc bag attached to the ejection port to catch shells. Would that be an effective sidearm? The Kieran's a sniper rifle, Jonah. But I'll do you one better. There's a kit to convert it to use Talon mags. I'll do that video like this week, I promise. Any video of yours you really disavow? Ooh. Yeah, the problems with dual wielding, I disavow that one completely. I leave it up so you can rub my face in it. I really, really, I don't think that video aged good at all. Other than that, I mean, I could take a look at some of my videos, trying to remember exactly where I went with that one, with those. Like the Diana, I had to sit there and think on. Let's go back like a couple of pages. Is there any you think I'd disavow? Let's put that way. Like, is there one you want to ask specifically if I changed my opinion on them? Oh, Walcom, you meant what's a good sidearm for the Kieran? Nightingale. Sorry, Jonah. I'm an idiot. Room temperature IQ. Mago, Roto Fury, or Surge Fire? Never Surge Fire. Surge Fire, Garbo. Roto Fury better. Neck that down for Elite darts. You'll have much more fun. My cousin is thinking of saving up for a Kieran. He is running a Renfield right now. Walcom, do you think he should or no? I mean, it's objectively a better, less customizable Renfield. What is the best Springer backup? Oh, there's so many things extra. Zinks are hot. Do you disavow the drum video? No, I do not. Drums have so many problems. They are very good for specifically, especially if you can use like start with a drum and drop it when it's empty and then switch to mags. Carrying extra drums on you, garbage. Do not do that. You should make a video on the Dart Zone Outlaw. I did. Thoughts on the Nerf Jolt? Best blaster. Not really. It's just I rewatched your videos and was curious if you have any outdated videos. I mean, I'm sure I do, but you'd have to ask me specific ones because I don't remember all the videos I've made. Since I don't have a battery for the Nightingale, I found the $20... Since I don't have a battery for the Nightingale, I found for $20 at that weird store. I can't tell if it's full auto or not. They offer full auto in its color. It's blue and black. Any way to tell. Not externally, I don't think you can tell. To be fair. I don't think you can. Because they all came in the same colors, I'm pretty sure. What is the sickest mod of a long shot CS6 you've seen, Wolco? Have you not seen my auto priming long shot? Man, that's one I'd have to spend hours redoing that thing. A certain somebody dropped it. But, yeah, I have an auto priming. It's like a $500 kit. I've barely used it. I had a gear go out on it. And that kind of sucked. I have a whole mod planned to finish that long shot and never did it. Yeah, maybe I should maybe I should see if that thing will fire up at all. I'm pretty sure my lipo for that is dead now, though. I think it's like a 5S lipo, and I think that one swelled up a while ago. Did you have any problems with the Stalking Dead at RAG this year? Last year? Brain isn't braining. Personally, didn't, besides the fact that Zombie decked me. I'd like to hear what you think. Well, I was the captain. So I had so much fun, it wasn't even funny. I got some complaints. People were like, oh, he's obnoxious because I was out there singing Bink Sake. Belting it as loud as I could. I really felt like I was one of the only people, despite the fact that the only attire I had was a freaking captain, like a pirate corsair hat that I got from, like a tricorn, that I got from, in California. I bought a whole Luffy cosplay. And would you not believe that even though it says it would fit me, it did not fit me. So I went and bought a tricorn and I wore that and I hammed it up as much as I could. And some people were like, oh, Walcom's so obnoxious. He was like screaming and yelling the whole time. It's like, yeah, it was the whole point. I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to make other people have fun. We're supposed to be pirates. I wanted to be Luffy. In my opinion, I think my cousin just used the Renfield same for something else. The Kieran Renfield varies. Yeah, exactly. Like if you already have a Renfield, it's hard to rationalize the Kieran unless you really like the Renfield. I don't know if I should say for a Seagull or a Harrier. If you don't need to hit 300 FPS, Seagull. If you want to hit 300 something FPS, you want more customization, Harrier. Or if you're like freakishly long-armed person, then a Harrier. We were not able to bring you victory, though. Still some of the most fun I've ever had. What you talk about? Red decked the other two. Yeah, I mean, we all lost. All the humans lost. We died to the Kraken. Partially my fault. The Moab died. I shouldn't have even tried to use it like that. But yeah, Red absolutely smashed the other two teams. Wasn't even close. That's the funny part. Like, Red was so... We're talking the first, like, hour, we were fighting both teams. They were camping. They were basically fighting each other at our entry point. There was a couple of things that worked in our favor, though. And it's not like we tried to have this happen, but one thing was we had the most defensible position because they actually cut a lot of the play area out of bounds because there's like 4 other things going on the campus that day, which is horrible. That was the worst. I would never go back to that school if I was Ragfest organizers. Garbage. Because they had like a Cub Scout thing. They had tennis matches. They had football, like American football. Horrible. But that made our entry, like, we didn't have 2 pathways. We had 1 block, which meant we couldn't leave, but we couldn't get attacked. So for like the first hour, it was garbage because both teams were sitting at our entrance fighting each other, but also keeping us inside. And yet we still won by, I think the amount of points was like, we had more points than the other 2 teams combined. Red went hard. Red smashed. Walcom, what do you want to see in a Nerf Pro long strike? Higher FPS short darts. Same design. Right up until the final stand when the zombies came in the 2 fronts. Yeah, but we were like the only team left at that point, and we still held them off forever. Is the Griffin any good from Frontline Foam? I'm going to put a warning on any 3D printed thing from Frontline Foam. Their non-3D printed stuff is fine. Arguably good, and if it's their own design or you can't find the blaster anywhere else, go with it. But consistently from Frontline Foam, while their prices are very low, their print quality leaves a lot to be desired. It is functional, but it's not pretty. It could be so much better, and I don't know what's going on with that. But again, their prices are like, they're like the cheapest of anybody, so that maybe that's why their print quality is so low. Is Mega dead? It kind of feels like that right now, don't it, A100? I don't know if it's completely dead, but yeah, it kind of feels like it. I personally don't think we're getting a Nerf Ball Springers. Do you? No, because Nerf Pro darts are not, they don't work in Springers. Ever want to do a cosplay blasters faithful to the original? Yeah, that's why I made a whole bunch of Rust things and trying to make them as good as, well, the AK was the only one. The Thompson, I tried to do the drum. That would have been so easy to make not drum, but I really wanted the drum, and the one from Rust doesn't have the drum. Is the Unicorn Blaster from Out of Darts a good beginner blaster? I would say so, Jared. I think it's probably better than the Seagull in a lot of ways. That's the other one I kept forgetting when we were talking about Springers earlier. Yeah, the Seagull is real good. Real good. I really want to thank you guys. We've been consistently like over 120 people this entire stream, which considering my original stream plans fell so hard, how nuts is it that some fat man-child sitting here talking about Nerf blasters can get 120 people? I've seen channels with millions of subs not be able to pull that number. You guys are awesome. Thank you for that. Like, I don't know how many like Nerf live streams get over 100 viewers at a time, let alone over 100 consistently average, but you guys are amazing. Thank you. Seriously. I mean that wholeheartedly. Even if you're just here to, you know, talk smack about me to your friends while you watch me geek out, I'm just trying to entertain. I'm doing my best. And I hope you enjoy it because these are some of the most fun things I get to do. You know what I mean? And the fact that we can pull over 100 people regularly in every stream blows my mind. I mean, that's hard to do for like, what is it? Like if you have like 16 viewers, you're in like the top 5% of Twitch or something like that. Like, we got a little community going on here. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Unicorn is GOAT for HVZ. Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that. It could be pretty good for HVZ. You're not wrong, Silver Spud, or Silver Squid. I just don't know about short darts and HVZ. Have you heard of the 3D printed flintlock musket? You should pick one up. I played with one at Ragfest, and it was amazing, and I really want one. I just don't want to pay money for one. I know who Silver is now. I don't remember your name, but I remember you. Pretty sure I signed that one. Walcom, are you going to do a bit? Yeah, I'm going to actually run an ad for him on one of my videos to help drum up some interactions for him. That'll be sometime probably next week. I'll just insert a random, hey, check out this cool stuff my friend's doing kind of thing. Walcom, did you ever check out the possible new unboxed Japanese dart tag I sent? Yeah, Joshua, I think I replied to that one. I just don't have money for that kind of thing. Long ways from 4 years ago, and like 35 years. That's why I just don't stream video games anymore. Every time I start streaming video games, people are just like, I didn't remember signing this stupid gaming channel, and they unsubscribe. But I tell you, the times back in the day when we sat there and played like Don't Starve for hours straight, those were some of the best. God, I miss that game. You should record you at events and shit. I mean, I always regret not doing it. I need to get like better mobile camera set up. I've got the Osmo Pocket, and I've got the little Sony that I love so very, very much. But this thing's like huge. I need to get an Insta360. That's a purchase I'm planning on at some point. Isn't that why the fuzzy walls? Yeah, but that's like a dump channel. I don't know. So the problem is I have to put more effort into that, and gaming, it's just hard. It's like I already monetized the Nerf stuff. I don't know if I want to try to monetize the gaming stuff. You know what I mean? Because I still have to edit and everything like that. If I was already paying an editor, I'd think about it, but yeah. Is it possible to create an aluminum casting mold using a 3D printer? Yes, look it up, Rohiran. I actually specifically remember printing out a part for a friend of mine, not Nerf. He just wanted it so he could cast it in aluminum. And I'm pretty sure he got that idea somewhere, so it should obviously be a thing. What is the worst Nerf gun? There's so many really bad ones. There's so many. I'll say something like the Battle Scout. What is your favorite official Nerf sniper? Oh, it's definitely the Long Strike. That thing is so good. It's like the only end strike design, in my opinion, that still holds up. Like, I think the Stampede looks like garbage. That's me. I don't think that design held up at all. Long Strike still looks amazing. Oh, the uppercut. I forgot about the uppercut. That thing is garbage. You still buy those? I'm waiting for the day those are like expensive because nobody bought them and they just all landfill. Nope, they're on Amazon. So weird. I'm looking at the blue one has an orange piece on it. The orange one doesn't. It has an extra piece of plastic on the blue one. That's wild. I've never noticed that. I didn't even notice that in the video. What is the best Shellington Labs blaster? Oh, the frickin' the Spring Thunder undermounted CO2 master key. That thing's so good. So good. You get like what? Like 15, 20 shots off a cartridge, and it uses Spring Thunder shells, and it fires ridiculously hard. Yeah. Actually, I think you get like 30 shots off one CO2 canister. That video was I need to do another video with that thing. We ever do a stream to finish those stream projects? That was originally the idea of the stream, King Supreme. I was going to finish the MA40 pistol. I might have to do that, Nerf Master. You make a compelling argument. Hello to Jared's dog. Man, I think we're just about done. I am so ridiculously hungry. It's not funny. I want food so bad. I have not had anything in like 15 hours. I'm faded. I got a bowl of cereal and that was it. Any dreams for Enforce to return? I mean, we got the Marauder back there for a little while. The Marauder was the best. It was only like $20 too. I can't believe they screwed up the Nerf Dungeons and Dragons stuff by putting pieces of plastic on it. It's so stupid. Gotta hate Hasbro. No, it's not around anymore. There was a point where the Nerf Marauder showed back up on Amazon. Magic Spoon ad in the middle of the stream, and they got like 700, 800,000 views off that one video. And then what did they get on the second one? I don't even remember what the second Magic Spoon ad was. Right? I had more than one. Like, I'm like looking back through my videos now. I did a Nerf Elite 2.0 was a mistake. That has 631,000 views. Holy crap. And then wasn't the one before that? The Mega Sniper? That has like a bajillion views too? Yeah. Dude, why did they never freaking go with the channel? Both videos I did for them, like, they got like tens of thousands of dollars in advertising and they did not pay even remotely close to that much. The Magic Spoon stuff is just lucky, man. Both times it went hard. I heard that Hyper Chamber is just a bit larger than 50 cal. Do you think they could tighten up the barrel to Rush 40 to make Monkey Mod's foam balls? Sorry. I don't really think so, Illinois. Wait, no, yeah, you could. You totally can. I'm ridiculous. I've already seen that before. Yeah, you can. I've seen somebody do it. Is Nerf Hyper dead? Looks like it. Gelfire apparently still has another blaster coming out, though. Yeah, Squids, I think we're just about done here. Have you used the Elite 1.0 Fire Strike? Yes, it was like my second Elite 2.0 blaster. And I loved it so much. Do you eat Magic Spoon unironically? I think it's fire. I think it's amazing. It's just too expensive. Hey, Calix, I'm not answering you, and you can stop spamming it, because I already answered you before. Like, the first time you asked, I answered your question. Look what happens. You get put in timeout for 10 seconds. Like, seriously, like, I always imagine, like, people like, oh, welcome, what do you think about this? And then they throw their phone as far as possible and run the other way. That's what it feels like every time. You ask me a question, I answer it within 10, 15 seconds, and then you come back and answer it again. I've seen Magic Spoon at grocery outlet a lot of times for like $5 a box instead of 10. 07s, Kaiser. 07s. How are you so good at swimming? I'm surprised you kept your head above the water the whole stream. Oh, you're funny. Also, I'm like super good at swimming. Fat kids are amazing in the water. Because we weigh nothing in the water. We weigh less. We feel like we weigh nothing. Has Vortex loadout already been mentioned? Yeah, we talked about it here. Before you end, can you please say hi to George, my cousin? He's a big fan. Hi, George! Nice to see you. Thanks for coming out. What is for dinner? I have no clue. I just told the wife I'm hungry. We'll see what happens. Ugh. I'm very hungry. All right. I think I'm going to peace out. All right. Well, it's been fun. Like, seriously, I actually had a ball this stream. I'm glad we managed to survive it. Next stream, hopefully, we'll be doing something. Now that I figured out I found a cable that works with the freaking elgato. Need to not lose that cable. I tried every cable, man. Lots of videos coming. Sorry it's been slow. I'm working on a big one, and it's a lot, and I'm not happy with it, but I'm probably just going to force it out. Then I got like 3 more coming out after that. You'll get a lot of content soon. It's okay. January sucks for ad revenue anyway, but I have like 4 sponsors, and I have very little time to get 4 sponsors done. So you're going to see sponsor after sponsor after sponsor, which I know it's like, sponsored, Walcom, you're a sellout. Hey, I'd rather give you a Raid Shadow Legends ad that you can just skip than asking you to give me money. To be fair, I think everybody wins that way. Except for the people that like listen to my videos in the background, or when like, I don't know, I listen to a lot of YouTubers when I go into sleep, a lot of them. I have my own like secret playlist, and it sucks that every single one of them's like, this video is brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends. Like 2 minutes, like feel like you're trying to go to sleep. It's like Raid Shadow Legends garbage. Yep, no, I get it. But I'm gonna leave you with the rest of this. This is a really freaking boring song right now. What are we even listening to? Modern Identities by Enrico Donner? This sucks. Next. Why are these songs like 20 minutes long? Oh, this is just straight up adult video music. All right, I'll leave you with a good amount of this, but yep, stuff's coming. Like I said, I got here's a spoiler. Here's a spoiler. Look at this. We got the Nerf Liberator. I don't know if I'll do a full video on this, but I also got we have the S333 Thunderstruck at home. This one's loaded with the 50 cal foam balls because it holds 2 per chamber, and then it's got a little hop-up piece. And the cool thing is, like, you can take off the hop-up piece, just like pops off like that, and you can put the normal one back on, just around here somewhere. But I'm gonna put the hop-up back on because this thing's actually like a beast to use with 50 caliber foam balls. So yeah, I don't know if I'll get a full video out of that. I don't think there's enough content, but I'll do something with it. Hey, before you go, what is the best Mega XL in your printed opinion, printed or not? Man, I don't know. The Mega XL Ranger. Boom. Done. Yeah, these are all from Bobo Innovations. Check my community tab. I already did a leak, a teaser, if you will. Thank you very much, everyone. Seriously, the 100 of you that stayed here for the entirety of the stream, that is nuts. There are people that would do a lot of things to get that kind of views, and I am completely undeserving, especially on a random live stream where we barely talked about the topic that we were supposed to talk about. But yeah, I'll be back next Saturday night with the exact same, hopefully, thing, unless something tragic happens. Hopefully not. But seriously, thank you so much. Have a great night or day wherever you happen to be. It's night for me, and I will see you next week with some pretty cool stuff that I've been working on. I hope. I better. I literally have to. I have sponsors, so I have to get that video out. Love you. Bye. God, that was way too loud. I'm so sorry. Frickin' media controls are garbage. Let's try that again.
You got